Sunday when they visit Winnipeg. Tommy Henry up first on the mound for the Diamondbacks in their Cactus League opener against the Rockies. Women's college hoops tonight. Arizona calls on third-ranked Stanford. Arizona State visits Cal. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910. Available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
Happy Friday. For your day, look for mostly cloudy skies out there. Their temperature's not bad, right around 80 degrees. And then for tonight, those clouds clearing out of here with those overnight lows right around.
I think you probably stay away from that one.
For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell's new Cravings Value Menu is a big deal. Or rather, it's 10 big deals. From new items like the loaded nachos to familiar favorites like the spicy potato soft taco. Check it out at a participating Taco Bell today. Available for a limited time only while supplies last.
Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In Iraq and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. On Fox Sports 910.
You made it to Friday. Welcome in. Roc and Manuch today with you. We got Jackson Shue holding down the fort. Shue at the headquarters. Jack's here at Wright Toyota with us. As you love breaking news. I mean, things that hit to start the show that you didn't expect. Thought we'd go down the road with the Phoenix Suns. Talk about the big loss last night. How they're going to rebound in Houston tonight. We'll get to that. But when an Arizona Coyote posts on his Instagram a line of Coke with his American Express card right next to it on the plate, that starts the show. That starts the show.
I did not see
as we didn't get to know him very long because he has not been with the team that long because he came over from Calgary in January. But Adam Ruzicka.
Yeah. Get that Czechoslovak Ukrainian accent in there, Rock. Ruzicka.
Yeah. Who decided to post on his Instagram stories a video of himself with the white powder, which we don't know for sure was Coke.
Oh, you don't
We don't know for sure that was his credit card.
Allegedly.
But the little vial of Coke that he put in his mouth, I think that may have given it away. He's been with the Yotes for about a month. He was claimed off waivers by the Calgary Flames. He's a center. No points in 3 games after just 9 points in 39 games with the Calgary Flames. But we didn't really get to know him very often, too well, I should say. But Coyotes, they did what they needed to do right away. Unconditional waivers to terminate his contract is in place.
Do you call that stupidity, wanting to sabotage my career, or all the above? I mean, why would you even think of doing something like that? I know you've lost, 11 in a row. What is it, 14 or is it 17 out of 21? I mean, that is just absolutely ridiculous why any athlete on any team would do something that stupid.
It's one thing if he's got an issue and he does drugs and things like that, but to post it on Instagram, he's got 1.1 million views since 6:44 this morning, and just a dumbass. I mean, I don't think there's a better word for it. Dumbass, one word.
I agree. Yeah. What do we have? The dumbass of the day. We used to have that for many years.
That's what I posted on our Twitter page.
It's just one thing after the other for the Yotes, unfortunately. And when you bring some guys in, you vet the hell out of them. How would you know if a guy does this or a guy does that in this situation? But to post it, and you would think if he's a regular user, which when you look at that video, this kid's probably a regular user. When's the last time they drug tested the kid? That would be my contention. Okay, when did they drug test him? Did they find anything when they brought him on board? Or had it been long enough? Did the kid time it? I don't know what the policy is. We'll catch up with former assistant coach Steve Peters at 1:30 as far as drug testing. Does they give you a heads up? I mean, clearly, if you're doing that flagrantly and they don't test you periodically, you're like, oh, I'm not going to get tested for a good month. To post something like that and to do something like that is absurd. You're done, son.
So if you bought the 83 sweater, I would hope that you still have a receipt and you can return it or you can burn it.
Yeah.
What a dumbass.
Unbelievable. Here's the sad thing, guys. There's so many young men out there busting their butts to get to the minors, let alone National Hockey League.
Just to be a pro.
Just to be a pro. And you get a knucklehead like this that blatantly puts it out there like that. The only thing I can think of is he's got some major issues, addictions, and he doesn't care if it's out there.
24.
I just don't understand that. So my first thing would be release him. I'd probably highly recommend go get some help. Go get some therapy as to why you would do that.
That's what's going to come out. That's what always comes out after these guys. It's, he's going to go get help. And I mean, that's the standard stuff that's in the manual, right?
But who's going to be able to trust him? Let's say if he goes and gets help, Rock. He gets, he goes maybe 2 months or a month
made a
of
mistake.
Rehab.
I was young.
All the above. So if you're Edmonton or you're Calgary and they go, we're going to go talk to the counselor, the parent, the therapy, all the above, can we trust him again? Now, obviously, you talk to him and say, yeah, I'll never do it again, never do it again. Now, if you're an addict, we don't know if he's an addict or not, but if you're addicted and once you were to start back up again, you might kill yourself because you'll snort so much. And I've talked to several guys that are addicted, and that's the mantra they say. Or you sabotage your career again, and then at that point, if you get a second chance, okay, I get it. But if you do it again, you're done. I mean, 24-year-old kid, talent, and you're done because of cocaine. Oh, allegedly cocaine.
Well, it's cocaine.
Yeah.
There's no allegedly here. I mean, I'm sorry. Unless he's going to come out and go, oh, that was a joke. I just was trying to get some views on my Instagram. No, it is clearly.
Yeah.
It's set up. And even the vial, if you've not seen the vial in the video is that's what they keep the coke in.
Yeah, you could tell by his eyes, too.
Yeah.
The smirk that he had in the video as well. He was definitely on something.
And as much as we make fun of the guy, it's sad on the other side. Very, very sad that this kid's got some issues. He's got some problems. But I'm just like, you work your butt off. There's so many other guys out there that are doing everything right. And you get somebody like that makes it to the National Hockey League and screws it up. Hopefully he learns from it and hopefully gets a second chance, from there.
It came out that the Diamondbacks will fall under Major League Baseball's TV umbrella once again for this year. They will remain under Major League Baseball. They will produce, they will distribute their games since taking over the club rights last year when the Diamond Sports Group had bankruptcy. So dbacks.tv, that is the new banner for your subscription if you want one. It's $100 a season. And another option is to bundle the TV, the D-backs TV, and MLB.tv for $200. So they're offering like 5 free spring training games to get you started. And then from there, you're going to have to pay if you want that deal. So unfortunate. I thought maybe they would come around with Arizona Family and get back on Channel 3. If you recall, when the Diamondbacks first got here, as a franchise, they were on Channel 3. That was the home, and then they moved to Fox Sports Arizona and then Bally's. But right now, they are now part of Major League Baseball.
My sister and brother-in-law, huge Diamondback fans, huge baseball fans. And bright and early this morning, my sister's like, when do you think the D-backs will not be doing streaming anymore? And I just said, I don't know. I'm very disappointed. I'm like you, Rock. I mean, even if it's cable, over the air, whatever, this turns a lot of fans off. It really does. I think the one connotation a lot of fans will have is like, well, hell, they go to the World Series and now they're going to get us for more money now versus people just want to tune in and go to a certain station. I'm like you. I really thought they'd go to Channel 3, Channel 5, or somebody else. But first thing this morning, when do you think the D-backs won't be doing streaming anymore? I said, I don't know. I hope it's soon. But it's a bitter taste, sour taste. A lot of pure D-back fans when they see they got even if it's $100 a year or whatever, and 5 free spring training games. I don't know. It's just I know we're going that way altogether, but for a lot of folks that say this team came out of nowhere last year and now they're going to streaming, you and I know that hey, they're trying to find something. So hopefully another platform over the air will come to about. I hope this year sometime.
You gotta look what the Phoenix Suns did. With Matt Ishbia came in. That was one of the first moves he made. Got him on over the air. Gave away antennas. Did it right, and their numbers are huge, absolutely gigantic. Because everybody can watch it. There's no excuse to not be able to watch a Phoenix Suns game. So D-backs, they're going to land back on the MLB, and unfortunately, I think there's going to be a lot of people that aren't going to watch them because they're not going to find it. You can't go to a McDonald's now and get a meal for yourself under $15. You're going to throw $100 to maybe watch 5, 10
exactly
games a year.
Yeah.
Smash
burger as well. I bought 2 burgers, fries, shake, $42 out the door, Rock.
Yeah.
I went, wow, okay.
God, you ate all that?
No, I didn't. I was buying it for my mother-in-law and my wife. So I think we had 2 burgers, 2 fries, Haagen-Dazs shakes. About the only place you can find Haagen-Dazs ice cream at Smash Burger. Out of $42.25.
So baseball is officially back. The D-backs have the Rockies right now. It's the first game. It's currently going on at Salt River Fields. We'll get you caught up on that. But the big news with the D-backs is the announcing of the in-market streaming option for the games this season. So not good. Of course, all the basketball teams lost yesterday. All of them. ASU rallied from a 25-point deficit, but still lost to Washington in overtime by a bucket. Arizona and GCU both fell as well. Their winning streaks went down as Washington State took care of Arizona 77-74. That ended their 8-game winning streak. They're now 20-6, 11-4 in the pack. They will host Washington tomorrow, and GCU, you can forget it unless they win their conference, which I think they will in the tournament. They lost to Tarleton State 77-74.
Well, and Tarleton State had a chance to watch a lot of that second half, and they came back. Tarleton State surprisingly came back and won that. They had won 7 in a row, and now 8 in a row. But if GCU, hopefully they will win the WAC conference. Hopefully, otherwise they'll be on the outside looking. And we'll catch up with Scotty Williams, the TV color analyst, at 3:30. Get his thoughts about that game. Also about the Suns and the leadership or lack thereof of one Kevin Durant.
Speaking of Suns, they dropped the tough one last night. I always mentioned on the road in Dallas. They have Houston tonight, I should say. We'll talk about that next. It's Roc and Manuch. Just getting started out here at Wright Toyota here on 910.
Clear. Get ready for double the fun on the 101. Introducing the Salt River Rewards Program at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort, the Valley's newest and best. With multiple tiers and endless benefits, we've got something for everyone. Don't miss out on the excitement. Salt River Rewards, the Valley's premier player rewards program, now at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. 2 properties, 1 amazing club, offering limitless fun on the 101. Discover the best in the Valley at saltriverrewards.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
You looking for a change in your career path or just looking to get back into the employment market again? Look no further. All City Towing is searching for motivated teammates to join their team. Current openings are in the areas of customer service, tow truck operators, yard management, facilities maintenance, and dispatch. If you're looking for a challenging yet rewarding opportunity, a great benefits program including 401k program with a generous company match, and a company that is a leader in the industry, apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call All City's HR department at 480-833-7278. All City Towing is Arizona's largest towing transport vehicle storage provider, locally owned and invested within the communities they service. If you enjoy helping others by providing great customer service, working as a team, and possess great communication skills, All City is for you. Apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call 480-833-7278. That's allcitytowing.com.
When it comes to insurance, we don't focus on the competition. We focus on our customers. At Crest Insurance Group, customer service is not what we do, but who we are. Now more than ever, businesses and families are turning to knowledgeable partners to help provide them with the insurance coverages they need. We've worked hard to become one of the country's top independent agencies, and our clients benefit from our vision, experience, and outstanding service. Contact Crest and let our insurance professionals tell you what they see. You'll be glad you did.
Is switching your wireless service to Total by Verizon easy? Totalmente. And you get unlimited 5G data, $25 a line for 4 lines on the unlimited plan, at an amazing price with no contracts. Should you switch to Total by Verizon? Definitely. Find a store or switch Suavemente at totalbyverizon.com. Monthly rate when you activate without a pay, plus taxes and fees. Discount begins the month after you enroll. Additional terms apply. See website for data management practices.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's BABBEL.com.
Now back to the Roc and Manuch Show, live from Wright Toyota. Right on the corner, right on the selection, and always right on the price. Wright Toyota, 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale, and online at WrightToyota.com. Meant for mornings, The Drive with Jody Ayler. Listen Monday, 6 to 10 on Fox Sports 910.
You're hot. Roc and Manuch out here, Wright Toyota. 116 on a beautiful Friday afternoon. Not good last night for the Suns, as Dallas, who's been hot, they've won a bunch of games, 7 straight to be exact. Hot shooting. They were just hitting it from everywhere. A slow third quarter for Phoenix as they were outscored 36-28. Then the Mavs open up the fourth quarter, and they go on this 8-2 run that extended their lead to, I think, about 11. And then the Suns just couldn't come back. And Devin Booker, 35 points, 8 assists, 39 minutes. Kevin Durant, 23 points, 5 boards, 40 minutes. But Luka was Luka. And Luka, in my opinion, is the MVP right now. It's hard for him not to get that. 41 points, 11 assists is what I like. 9 boards, 38 minutes. Kyrie, 29 points, 5 boards in 36 minutes. But we talked about this yesterday, turnovers for the Suns. They had 16 of them, which led to the Mavs 29 points. So that was a lot. But this is a game that you really wanted to win when it comes to tiebreakers for the play-in and tiebreakers and all that other stuff. But I know it's still early. It's only the 23rd. We've got a long way to go, but they need to win these type of games in their conference. They got to win the conference games.
They got whooped in the second half, Rock. They come out. Mavericks come out 15-0 run to start the game off. Hell, they had a 33-4 run after it was all said and done. And to your point with the turnovers and the points off the turnovers, it just at some point you would think coming off the break, everybody would have a little extra pizzazz in their step, come out and get after. But Luka, with 3 straight, he came down 3 straight times. No answer for him, no stop. Suns turn it over, come down again, get another shot, turn it over, get another shot, no stops. Next thing you know, they're up by 11 points. And really no answer in that fourth quarter. Again, only 22 points in that fourth quarter. Just don't have that juice that I think that you're looking for. And I believe this is the 11th time the Suns have had the lead, where they've lost a game. They've had the lead. And again, I know it's just the one game coming back. Bill decided not to play him, which I was surprised they said he was a go.
Yeah, I mean, you were all about that yesterday. You're like, all time. Tim Kempton said he's a go.
Yeah, everybody thought he was a go. So I think what probably happened is they probably had him go through warm-ups, just make sure he's good to go. Maybe he felt a little tightness and said, you know what, guys, let's just err on the side of caution. Let me just hang out for these next
matter.
games.
This team's got enough good players.
Oh, I agree.
They don't need Bradley Beal to beat Dallas, even though Dallas is hot. They're doing it with their 2 guys.
Yeah, and I think that you look at that, Nurkic with only the 5 points, but I mean, there wasn't a lot of opportunities when you get down. They're starting to shoot from the outside. But again, the perimeter defense wasn't there. There was really nowhere to stop Nurkic when he's shooting it damn near from the half court line. But again, I'd expected more effort coming out of that second half. We're going to do something to put a stop to that run.
I still think defense is an issue. I know people say, oh, well, they got enough offense. They don't need to worry about the defense. But listen to this play. This is in the fourth quarter, and this made the score 104-93. Kyrie Irving basically went coast to coast for a layup. Listen to this call.
Finds a Kobe. Deflected, good hands, good defense by Dallas. Irving the other way, behind the back, and into Grayson. Oh, what a play by Kyrie! Timeout Phoenix. He did a little bit of everything on this play. A wonderful display.
Yeah, coast to coast layup. Unbelievable. And then just one more highlight as we do some of the sounds of the night. You got to play a Luka. Here's just another one. This happened early in the
Luka
game.
being Luka.
Yeah.
Doncic shedding the defense of Okogie. Okogie sticking right with him. Around Eubanks. Got it. Foul. Count it.
And one.
You know, look, even defense on it stuff to stop him. I mean, you look at him
So
and
good.
he's
so good.
He's
a guy you don't like. I mean, I can't stand Kyrie Irving just because of his antics. But Luka, I know a lot of people don't like him in Phoenix because the battle. And I do think if there is a rivalry with the Phoenix Suns, it is Dallas. Hands down.
I would agree
But
with
it
that.
was more so when DeAndre Ayton was here because you could play up the DeAndre,
Sure.
the Luka Doncic
If
deal.
only the Suns had a chance to take a guy like Luka Doncic in the
I
NBA
know.
draft, maybe their team would be so much better, and they potentially would have already won a championship.
And
But you don't always have those opportunities to take a guy like Luka Doncic, number 1 overall. It's not like you had the coach who coached him for his national team as your head coach. Those types of scenarios don't come around all the time, guys.
Yeah, but it's easy to go back to every single draft and every single sport and say,
Armchair
oh, we
quarterbacks.
should have took that guy instead of that guy.
Well, and I think Sean McDonough was the general manager at the time, and Robert Sarver said, look, we want that so-called, hopefully generational big man that can run the floor, that can shoot, that can rebound. And DA was that young kid, and they saw this
1 year
potential.
college ball.
Yeah, exactly. I see that. But I think it was kind of like, okay, pick the guy who's that individual you feel will be best for your team. And at that point, the kid's down there at U of A, and they're seeing all the things that they need versus all the things that they already had to support that, and put him smack in the middle. Now, youth and all that talent never came to fruition. It did periodically, and I think it was fun to see him and Luka go at it. I mean, that's about the only time DA would be like, I'm going to show you that you made the right choice.
Yeah.
I'm number one.
What
And
a
it was
match.
fun to see those two go at it a little bit.
I will say this with DeAndre, games that he would step up were the games with Dallas, but also, and there weren't a lot of them, when Giannis was in town. He had some of his best games when the Bucks were playing.
Yeah, and
I don't know why he couldn't keep that up, that intensity.
The other thing too is at the end of games, as I recollect, is he was good the first 3 quarters, but in go time or crunch time, it seemed that Luka or that Giannis, whoever that other opposing figure was, would get the better of him. And to your point, Rock, yeah, why couldn't he just maintain that, or why can't he maintain that, and show a little more aggressiveness toward the end of games? And yeah, I mean, so for Robert Sarver and Sean McDonough, the general manager, that's the guy they want. Now, I want to say, I read a couple stories where McDonough, he also wanted Luka, but he might have got it outvoted, or the head coach too, as you had alluded to, Schubert, got outvoted by the main man, that being Robert Sarver, and who's also a U of A alumnus on top of it.
I will say this, though, and that was TNT with that call. Give them their credit. But when these two teams play, it just feels like a playoff game. There's so much intensity between these players. I mean, you want to see Booker, you want to see Durant, you want to see Luka, you want to see Kyrie. But I think when these guys come together, you could just see it in their eyes that this game means something. I mean, Durant comes out, mouthing off with some fans.
How about that?
I mean, it's just,
It's
I
like
love that.
Every game, a fan versus Luka, or it's a fan versus Katie and Booker.
Yeah.
Every single game in this rivalry.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, for fans, we want to see a rivalry. We want to see these guys play in the playoffs every year.
Oh, sure. But it's interesting. Durant went back to this lady and I don't know if it was her husband or son, and she's drinking a beer. And she said something. He went back to her and was like, well, look, you can't be. He was very diplomatic with her. And the guy said, hey, we were just hollering at you. We were this, we were that. I'm like, KD, but he couldn't pass it up. He took about 4 steps and went back to her. Go, hey,
KD's in the news a lot lately.
Maybe he wants to, show his leadership by going back there and saying, you know what, y'all, you can't be saying that with us coming back, because they're right there in the front row. They kind of rope it off when they go through warm-ups. But that lady, she looked harried, the hair everywhere. She had a big old beard, and the guy's there. And no, we didn't. We're just, hollering at you. And Katie's like, you know what? Can't be saying that to us. We're walking by.
Yeah, it does get to the point where I think fans feel entitled because they pay for a ticket and they can say and do whatever they want. And that is just not right. I can't stand it. I think of all the 4 major teams, the worst games to go to in this market are Cardinal fans. If you go sit in some of the lower level seats, like on the 20-yard line, I remember sitting in those seats a lot with a couple buddies of mine. The people around those sections were so nasty and so belligerent,
rude,
and rude.
Yeah.
And the thing that I hate is you see a guy with his son or daughter, and you're sitting there and you're like, dude, come on, stop with all the F-bombs.
Sure.
This kid's 8.
I remember.
He's wearing his jersey. He's got his Fitz 11 jersey. He's there to have a good time with his dad or the girl with his mom or whatever it is. And these fans, and you know who you are,
sure,
and they're just asses.
No respect for the youngsters around them or the people around them. They feel they can just pop off. I that happened to me a couple times when I was doing the Cardinals broadcast. I would meet the kids, my dad and the kids, for about a half and sit with them. And we got good seats. Our good buddy Paul Jensen used to get us good seats. And man, I'm going. So my dad's like, "Look, I'm leaving, or we're gonna go up higher where there wasn't hardly anybody up there." So they got these great seats. My dad I said, Dad, you got to take the kids up top because this is ridiculous. They didn't care. And that's the problem I have with fans is, look, have respect for those individuals around you. You can be cheering, but watch the cuss words and this. And we're like, we're like, hey, can y'all tone it down? Who the hell are you to tell me?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, we got these kids are like 8 and 10.
I know.
They're watching the game. Do you mind?
And I get it. I mean, I tailgate. You have a bunch of cocktails, beers. I get it. But I don't think I've ever been that way.
And the other thing, yeah, and I would hope not.
I mean, I've yelled, and I'm a Philly fan. I mean, I'm the worst.
The other thing is,
but I know where my place is.
Now, is that you or your twin Roc?
No, it's me. My twin only comes out at the open.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, only the open.
The other thing too that you're seeing in the NFL the last 15, 20 years is that area where fans can come up, that roped up area where you can come walk up close to the sidelines
before the game. Yeah.
Before the game, and then they're doing that in the NBA too. So I was just wondering where the security guard was. The one guy's walking in with KD. There was no other guard that was security guard. They're standing there just to make sure that when they walk by, nobody would say something or do something.
This Sounds of the Night are brought to you by the Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. They have 3 live betting windows, 6 self-service betting kiosks, plus 8 screens that display all the betting lines. So check it out for yourself and the home of Take the Points tomorrow at 9 o'clock. 11 o'clock, right after Backspin, which starts at 9 o'clock. The Oats, well, they've lost 11 in a row. They just lost their center because of cocaine. They've lost 17 of the last 21. They still don't have a place to play in the future. It's a mess, and we're going to keep up with former Coyotes assistant coach Steve Peters next to break it all down. Listen to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910.
Clear.
Oh. Here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
Coyotes have waived recently signed Adam Ruzicka, who posted a video on his Instagram account that allegedly shows him being around drugs. ASU fell in overtime to Washington last night after coming back from 25 down. Elsewhere, Arizona fell at home to Washington State and lost their 8-game winning streak. GCU fell to visiting Tarleton State and snapped their 7-game winning streak. Tomorrow, ASU hosts Wazoo. Arizona entertains Washington. GCU visits Abilene Christian. After falling on the road to Dallas last night, tonight the Suns call on the Rockets. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado features a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. It's why they won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant in all 7 Barrio Queen locations. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of Game Day.
In the fast lane of life, your fuel should keep up. Time to check out G2G protein bars, your ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether it's a workday, gym session, or navigating daily chaos, G2G has got you covered. Find them now at your local Costco in the refrigerated section, or explore all 8 fantastic flavors at G2GBar.com. Great tasting and packed with protein. So keep pace with life in the fast lane with G2G protein bars.
It's Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing and your sexy status roof guy on Instagram and Facebook. Lesser roofers cut corners, cobbling together patchwork roofs to meet a budget, not State 48 Roofing. Give us a call today for your maintenance, repair, or full replacement needs.
Over the years, Lerner Rowe has helped over 150,000 injured people recover billions of dollars for their injuries and over $1 billion in the last 5 years alone. What does that mean to you when you're looking for an attorney to handle your personal injury case? That means that Lerner Rowe is a law firm that not only has experience, but the proven results to recover money for your injuries. The insurance companies know which attorneys won't put up a fight. When you call us, we call them, and they know they have to pay.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Hey, it's Gross. Join me, Bauer, and Jackson every Saturday from 11 to 1 live from the Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar at Casino Arizona for Take the Points. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Get wings the way you want them. Try Twin Peaks wings bone-in breaded, naked, smoked and grilled, or boneless in your favorite sauce or rub.
If you keep your money in a bank account, listen up. The banking system is once again under extreme stress, and after last year's banking crisis, the dangers are clearer than ever. Car loans are defaulting, credit card debt is ballooning, commercial real estate is on the brink of collapse. These aren't just red flags. They are the sounds of a financial ticking time bomb. But there is a safe and easy way to protect your financial future. Gold. Gold is outside the government's reach and safe from economic policies that jeopardize your wealth. Gold allows you to lock in today's value in the face of tomorrow's uncertainty. Don't wait for the next headline, crash, or bank run to act. Contact Noble Gold Investments today. As a bonus, they'll give you a free quarter-ounce gold standard coin as a thank you for opening a qualified account. Just use the promo code GOLD. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com. noblegoldinvestments.com. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at progressive.com.
He's there.
That's progressive.com.
Now back to the Roc and Manuch Show, live from Wright Toyota, right on the corner, right on the selection, and
gonna get the
always
Matthews goal
right
here
on the price. Wright Toyota, 77th Street and
After his
Frank
intro,
Lloyd Wright
obviously.
Boulevard in Scottsdale, and online at wrighttoyota.com. Time to talk puck with ESPN analyst and host of the Coyotes podcast on Go PHNX, former NHL coach Steve Peters. Coach Petey now talking puck on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910 and the free iHeartRadio app.
Back it comes to Lilligren. Matthews shoots, scores! Number 50 for Austin Matthews in his
You're hot.
yard.
Hey, Coach, this kid from Scottsdale's pretty good, isn't he? Matthews kid, what's his name? Yeah. He's pretty good, huh?
Yeah, it's not a bad player. It's funny, all these Canadian fans saying that hockey shouldn't be in the desert, yet the player that is saving the game north of the border happens to be from here.
That's good stuff. Well, he may be saving the game, but then there's a former Coyote center who is no longer with the team because he rather put blow up his nose.
Yeah, you know what? Adam Ruzicka played 3 games with the team. They acquired him a few weeks ago. I honestly don't get it. Like,
Yeah.
where is the stupidity of a human being to put that kind of stuff out on social media and think nothing's going to happen? So it breaks this morning. Within a few hours, he's gone, clears waivers, and they're terminating his contract tomorrow when he clears. Just dumb move. The truth for the organization, he's been there for 3 weeks. He played 3 games. They'll move on without missing a beat. He hadn't settled into the locker room. He didn't have a spot in the ice yet. He was a guy in and out of the lineup. He won't miss him. It's just another unfortunate black mark on this franchise.
Yeah, what else is there? Is there something else lurking around the corner, Steve? Rock and I talked about that earlier. It's like another black eye and another scenario that this Yotes franchise has got to overcome.
You know, it's just constant. It's the fan base has had to go through this, the staff, the players. It literally seems like it's always something. And right now, the only thing left on the table right now, the biggest thing, the only thing, it's the arena. Like they have, we're in the final strokes of this one. It has to get done, or they're in huge trouble. And we'll know by the middle of June. Like, this is it. This is their last kick at the can. Morello gets this done, or I don't believe he will be an owner by the end of June.
You know, the Toronto Star had a pretty big piece on this deal 2 days ago, of course, with Toronto being in town and all, and basically had a lot of quotes from players that are now talking that, you know, this is affecting them because they're, you know, they're generating at least $60 million less than they could in a bigger arena. And when the players start talking, that normally means there's going to be some changes, right? Would you think that would be the case?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting because it's really getting a big push from Marty Walsh, the lead of the Players Association, and he's really speaking out against Morello and the ownership group and the arena, and really he's the biggest voice being put forward. So yeah, you are hearing more from players. Ironically, though, when you talk to players one-on-one and in person, at least the Coyote players that I've talked to, honestly, I haven't heard the issues that I saw printed in that article. And I have talked to road players that used to play here, and they honestly, they come in once a year. They stay in downtown Mill Avenue, 5 minutes from Old Town, 5 minutes from the airport, instead of 45 minutes to Glendale, staying in Westgate. I haven't heard one visiting player complain because they love the setup.
Well,
now, playing in front of 5,000 fans, it comes into escrow, it comes into money, and it comes into their share of the escrow. I get that part. And that's a different side. But playing in the building, I haven't heard those complaints.
Well, one of the quotes was from the Oilers, Zach Hyman. I think it's Hyman. Is that?
Yep.
Yeah,
Hyman.
He had said, hey, it's fine to play once or twice, but to play a 41-game season here is not ideal. So,
but he's not wrong.
Yeah,
he's not wrong. And we've said this, you know, we broadcast this since the beginning. It's not an ideal situation. The alternative in Arizona is they leave. There's no other place that can house them or will take them in the short term. So I don't know. I know people think they can go back to Glendale. They can't. And, you know, they can't play where the Suns play. That's just, it's not feasible to play at Footprint Center. And they talked about, you know, the fairgrounds. Again, not reasonable financially to do that. This is the only answer, not a great answer, not the best answer. It's the only answer for right now. That's why they need this building. And then once they get the approval and they buy the land in June, they got to put shovels in the ground immediately, and they got to put that building up as quickly as they can. Like, you've got to do that in 2 years, and that's going to be a hard challenge for this team.
And see, that was my question. I mean, it's got to be ASAP because there's 3 years left in the lease. Like you said yesterday, Rock, there's 3 years left on that lease. It's going to take them every bit of 3 years to design, put the shovel in the ground, if they're going to do any kind of a retail or somewhat of a footprint they want to do in Tempe. But that has got to be happen as soon as he cuts a check. If he's the winning bid, number one, Steve, if he's the winning bid, which I imagine he will be, but if he's the winning bid, if he's not, this bad boy goes into another auction format. But they got to get on the big foot, as I like to say.
Yeah, it's got to be like, it's funny when they built the Glendale Arena, that went up in 18 to 24 months, one of the fastest buildings of its size in its day. They have to do that again. Like, I can't imagine going into that third season from now. I could see next year and the year after maybe, but that's it. I don't see how they can continue to play there. It is a big deal. They have to win this auction, and they have to get shovels in the ground immediately. And Mr. Morello, the ball's in his court. He has to pull out his checkbook, and he has to win that auction. And I know publicly they're saying, oh, we're going to win the auction. You don't know. You don't know who the other bidders are yet. You don't know who may compete for that land. That's valuable land in an unbelievable location on the Phoenix-Scottsdale border. There may be a secret bidder coming in. I think they're being a little presumptive, saying, yeah, we're absolutely going to win this auction. So we'll see. There's a lot of story to be played out yet. Good news for us is it's going to be played out by the middle of June. We won't have to wait past that. The league is going to let them wait until June, but by the middle of June, if they don't own that land, things are going to change in a hurry.
Steve Peters with us here on Fox Sports 910. I saw a story, the fact that the team is playing the Winnipeg Jets tomorrow. I had no idea. I haven't really paid attention to it, but Winnipeg, I remember, was one of the hottest tickets in the NHL. When they got hockey back there, it's 300-plus sellouts. Now I'm seeing that they are the second worst in attendance to the Yotes in that they're, only getting like 9,500 season tickets when they were about 13,000 before. Why isn't anybody talking about Winnipeg and the issues they're having?
Yeah, it is funny because that's a franchise. When they moved back, they had to guarantee the first 3 years of complete sellout of their season ticket base, which they did easily. And like everything, like your kids at Christmas, those toys aren't as shiny as they were on December 25th by the time you get to summer. And that's what's happening in Winnipeg. It's a different economy in Winnipeg. It's the Canadian dollar, which is much more difficult to maintain a team there. Taxes are much higher in Canada than they are for these teams and owners and franchises. It's difficult, and you're starting to see that now in a city that isn't big enough maybe to sustain this long term, and they're talking about relocating again. Jeez. I don't think that's going to happen. First of all, the team they're going to make the playoffs. They're going to be a team that I think surprises some people. So the hockey is good, but you're right. Why aren't people screaming about relocating the Winnipeg Jets and moving them to Salt Lake City or Houston? I think it's coming. But you're right. This is why when people talk about relocating the Coyotes are not moving to Quebec City for the exact same reasons. Quebec City cannot sustain it economically. They are not moving to a small Canadian market because that's what you're going to see happening, just what's happening in Winnipeg.
All right, ice-wise, as Rock alluded to, Yotes taking on Winnipeg on Sunday. 11 in a row of the loss. They've lost 17 in the last 21 games. They're only averaging, 2.2 goals per game, giving up 4.5, whatever that number is. So they start quick some days, they finish slow other days. I mean, where does this team got to go for fans to even remain interested for these last 4 or 5 weeks?
The only way to stay interested right now on this team is watching where they're going to pick in the draft, because they're not going to win many games down the stretch. It's at 11 now, but I hate to say it, fans that are listening, it's going to be 12. Winnipeg they don't play well in that building. Winnipeg's fighting for a playoff spot. Arizona has nothing to play for. The rumors are killing them. The new player and the troubles off the ice today, that's not going to do them any favors. They're in a dark cloud right now, and I don't know how they get out of it. And more importantly, I don't think they need to get out of it. Last year, they finished 6th to last. Right now, they're 5th to last. 4th to last is in sight. This team could pick top 3 in the draft and have a much better chance of getting first overall pick next year. The season's over. The playoffs are gone. It's over. Trade deadline's a few weeks away. This team, if they lose out, that's probably the best thing for the fan base right now. Get a big pick. It's terrible how fast this season fell apart, and it's really sad. But now you just have to look forward to the future and draft picks again.
Aren't you getting tired? I mean, I love you, buddy. You know that. But this is a broken record, man. I mean, you do this for a living. You got to talk about this every day. It is ridiculous. I mean, I haven't even walked my dog to stop and talk to you because I don't, I just feel bad.
Yeah, it's going to be insane.
So
it's the same story.
It is.
And they don't spend money. They don't spend money on players. You played the Toronto Maple Leafs the other day. Their payroll was $30 million short of the Toronto Maple Leafs payroll. That's 4 or 5 all-stars. Like, not just good players, like all-stars. It changes the face of your team. But the ownership can't spend because they don't have the revenue, because they don't have a building. It all follows. We've heard it for 25 years. And until I'm hopeful that the new arena brings in more revenue, which brings in more players and brings in a winning, the winning culture. I hope so. And I know Bill Armstrong has players and draft picks, and the development side looks positive and looks good, but they're just 17, 18, 19-year-old kids. That's a long way from being a regular first-line center in the National Hockey League. And you're right. Patience is worn thin. I'm tired of it. I'm frustrated with it. They have to turn it around, and it has to start this summer.
I just wish I know we got to get you out of here, but if you go to their website, all they do is talk about how they do this stuff in the community, which I think is important. But launching these direct-to-consumer streaming platforms and this apparel and all this stuff that has nothing to do with the sport, other than they're trying to make money and they're treating it. It just seems like they don't have the right business model to run a hockey team, because they're all worried about winning Emmys and stuff like that for the production and for. I'm sorry, you're winning these awards because you're doing a good job to 4,500 people. I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's funny because when you root for a team with your heart and soul, and I know all of us that are listening to this and it's been part of this, you root for some team somewhere with your body and soul, and you really don't care about anything other than winning.
Yes,
you just don't.
Thank you.
The other stuff I think is a byproduct of that. I think if you do things right and you attempt to win, all of those other things fall in place afterwards. And I look at Vegas Golden Knights as a model. Their owner came up and said, "We're going to win a Stanley Cup in 6 years," and everybody laughed at him. No, you're not. Well, they did.
Yeah.
Because he put the resources into the team. He put the resources into the product. He made that the franchise it is because he spent a lot of money doing it. And I think an owner, all those things are
break, obviously.
Ownership taking a part in the community. You do. But you want to see the team be successful first, and all of the rest of that will happen after.
Yeah.
And I just hope the focus changes to sports. I hope the focus changes to hockey, and I hope the focus changes to winning once they get a building.
They definitely got the diversity thing down.
No, they sure
Hey,
do.
thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
That's Steve Peters joining us. Hey, the Tooth Fairy is being hit with declining wages. Yeah, break's coming next.
Check clear. Now, this is The Herd. You're excited. I'm excited.
With Colin Cowherd.
Caitlin Clark, Iowa Star, broke the NCAA women's hoop scoring record. She's the biggest star in college basketball, men's and women's. TV ratings, they just beat a Miami-Boston Celtic game about 3 weeks ago. Why? One of the reasons, she's now familiar.
This is The Herd. Monday at 10. Tell your smart speaker to play Fox Sports 910.
Nobody does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, they have everything from tequila cocktails to an extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails served over ice balls. Local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails round out an adventurous drink menu second to none. And don't forget about the 29-degree drafts. Stop by any Five Valley Twin Peaks locations. Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B are live every Thursday. Fan up at Twin Peaks.
Hey, it's Gross. Join me, Bauer, and Jackson every Saturday from 11 to 1 live from the Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona for Take the Points. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar.
Catch Sun Devil baseball for the final season in the Pac-12 Conference. The Sun Devils host an incredible home schedule that features teams like Ohio State, Oregon, USC, and Arizona. Season tickets are available starting at $150, and limited seats are still available at the field level. Grab your seats today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Any car dealer in Arizona can compete on price. That's what dealers do. But not many dealers can compete on customer satisfaction. Like Wright Toyota. Make the right choice. Wright Toyota in Scottsdale, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and online at wrighttoyota.com.
When you use your electric vehicle in autopilot or self-driving mode, accidents can still happen. Whether you're considered at fault or not, you may still have a claim. Lerner & Rowe has a dedicated team skilled in this new science. We are the first law firm in America with the ability to review the proprietary software and hold electric vehicle manufacturers responsible. If you or a loved one were injured in an electric vehicle accident, call Lerner & Rowe today.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Ah, springtime. The best time of the year here in sunny Arizona. Spring training, spring break, and of course, Duke's on Miller and McDowell. Enjoy this weather on one of their 3 spacious patios. One is smoke-free. Duke's, right on the Greenbelt at Miller and McDowell, has awesome food, great drink specials, and is totally dog-friendly. Meet up with your friends at Duke's for spring training.
Where? Miller and McDowell! Scottsdale!
Now open in Rocky Point.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's BABBEL.com.
Now back to the Roc and Manuch Show, live from Wright Toyota. Right on the corner, right on the selection, and always right on the price. Wright Toyota, 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale. and online at righttoyota.com.
You're hot.
How 18 years ago, this song, which just got cut off, Speed of Sound from Coldplay, it was from their 2005 album X and Y, was the 1 billionth legally downloaded song on iTunes.
That was when that was
That's
all
your random fact of the day.
becoming a thing, those early 2000s.
Jeez.
Their other song, their other hit came out 2002 or 2003. And it's like, yeah, these guys are like, you're reading about the music industry, and they're like, yeah, we got to go all these tours to make money because everybody's downloading our songs for like a dime a song or something like that. Because folks weren't buying albums. They were stopping buying albums, go to the store before the CDs, albums, CDs, whatever. And I thought it was kind of interesting. They kind of broke down the music industry. We're touring because we have to tour to make money. Great song.
Also on this day, many of you, I would say most of you, have seen this before. 1985, Bobby Knight is ejected 5 minutes into the game against Purdue, throws a chair across the court. 2 fouls were called on his team, and he gets hit with the first technical. While Purdue is shooting the technical, that's when he picked up the chair from the bench and throws it across the court, which got him that second technical. He gets ejected. Here's the play-by-play call.
Fred Jaspers now chasing Bobby Knight back to his chair.
And
He's
we got
got him
technical.
right there. There's the tee.
Technical against the bench and against Bob Knight. Steve Reed, an excellent free throw shooter, will have the honors shooting the technicals.
Looky here. Looky here. Bobby Knight just threw his chair clear across the free throw lane.
And I think Fred
Unbelievable. He picked up another tee.
There you have it. Hey, some football at 50 for you. The Seahawks are adjusting their starting quarterback's contract. ESPN is reporting that they've restructured Geno Smith's deal to convert his $9.6 million roster bonus into a signing bonus. So that moves $4.8 million into the 2024 salary cap space for the team. So that roster bonus was due on the 18th of March, but he will get the money now due to the restructured deal. So
good for him.
Yeah, 33-year-old. He's been around a long time.
Wants to win. Wants to continue winning. Have some money saved up or put out there for go get some of those free agents right around the corner.
Cincinnati Bengals, if you're a Bengal fan, you'll be happy to know that they are replacing their current turf. Yeah, they're changing it out. They will move on from a slit firm turf and change it to a field turf core system. And I guess the Minnesota Vikings and the Colts are also moving on from their surface. I know there's been a lot of talk of certain surfaces in the National Football League that have had issues. Of course, Arizona, with the Super Bowl 2 years ago, that was an issue. But they're grass. So this field turf, there's a lot of teams that play on this field turf. And it sounds like more teams are going that route. Atlanta, Carolina, Detroit, New England, New York, Seattle are already on this field turf.
Yeah, the field turf. I know the Players Association would rather have grass, but that field turf is a little softer. It's got a little more give.
Which that you play out at Arizona Athletic Grounds. That's all field turf. It's soccer and the ones you train on.
I love it. I mean, it's good stuff. It's and I think the grass sometimes, if you it's just how much give, how thick that field turf is from that standpoint. I think, but the grass, there's nothing like grass. But a lot of these guys cut it so low, it's like a putting green. So they don't have the surface, as you mentioned, the Super Bowl last year with the Chiefs and Eagles. A lot of slip slide because it was cut too low. And so the field turf, I think it's just a lot better from the standpoint of give and a lot softer when you get sacked or when you go get tackled.
And finally, 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy was spotted on a commercial shoot in San Francisco yesterday. A massive John Deere tractor was unloaded off a flatbed truck, and then there he was. Crew member said it was for a digital commercial for John Deere that is set to debut on social media over the next couple weeks. So Brock started to cash in.
Yeah, busy. We got Toyota. By the way, he gets married in 2 weeks. there in Iowa. And he's also going to be on tonight at the National Quarterback Club.
Going to be on?
He's going to be honored.
Oh, honored.
He will not be there. Matter of fact, I'm going to go there and stand and collect the award for him.
Why are you doing it?
Well, because they asked me. His mom and dad are sick, and they're having a hard time to get there tonight.
They're just tired of all the awards.
Well,
so I got you. Take this one, Manuch. You need some press.
I appreciate that. He's
a knock, not a appreciation.
I appreciate that, Rock. He's the pro quarterback player of the year. Kenny Anderson, speaking of Cincinnati, is one of the alumni guys that's going to get honored. Rodney Peete is going to be honored. He's also on our Fox affiliate over in LA. And then Bernie Kosar. Bernie, having some health issues, will not be able to make it tonight, so they're going to be honored tonight. So I get a chance to stand in and accept the award. Brock will be on video accepting his award.
Oh, so he will be
He'll
part
be
of it.
At least part of it, yeah, because he's, as you mentioned,
busy doing commercials.
Good commercials. Good for him. Hey, got to make some money somewhere, right? I mean, $875,000 or $900,000 to your sponsoring Toyota, John Deere, and I think there's a few others that are coming down the pike. As I had a chance to talk to his brother Chubba Purdy last night, who's in Nevada. Tell me about the schedule of one Brock Purdy.
Hey, we're going to talk about the business side of sports with Rick Horo next, the top of the 2 o'clock hour, and then a little bit later, story that is starting to make some noise. I know Schubert's going to want to talk about this as well, as Major League Baseball is seeking a minimum wage exemption here in Arizona.
30.
Basically for their minor leaguers. And there is some talk, and it's very limited, but it could mean some teams could leave the Cactus League. Leave the Cactus League.
Not good.
So we'll get into that as well as we continue from Wright Toyota. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Clear.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B has been sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
Jenny!
Hey, Jenny!
Jenny, come on in! Steve!
Hey, Steve!
Steve, how you doing?
Meg!
Meg, nice to see you! Hey, Meg!
Arena Sports Grill. Come on out for the sports, off-track betting, incredible food, and friendly faces. The best daily specials in Scottsdale. Arena Sports Grill, 62nd Street in Bell. We know you.
Get ready for double the fun on the 101. Introducing the Salt River Rewards Program at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort, the Valley's newest and best. With multiple tiers and endless benefits, we've got something for everyone. Don't miss out on the excitement. Salt River Rewards, the Valley's premier player rewards program, now at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. 2 properties, 1 amazing club, offering limitless fun on the 101. Discover the best in the Valley at saltriverrewards.com.
When you use Bounce dryer sheets and your clothes look amazing, it's the sheet. Less static in your life? Yeah, it's the sheet. Smelling fresher than ever? It's the sheet. Oh, so soft fabric? Ooh la la. It's the sheet. Less wrinkles on your clothes? You know it's the sheet. Bounce dryer sheets. More freshness, more softness. Less static, less wrinkles. It's the sheet.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, a Pfizer vaccine.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd, Monday from 10 to 1. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD3 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music. Free never sounded so good.
Tomorrow will be a chance for both number 4 Arizona and GCU to rebound from losses last night. The 4th-ranked Wildcats with an afternoon tip at home against Washington. GCU will call on Abilene Christian. The Lopes suffering just their 3rd loss of the season last night in 27 games as they were beaten by Tarleton State. ASU hosts Washington State. The Suns meeting the Rockets tonight as they get back after the All-Star break with 3 games to start. A questionable video showing Adam Ruzicka apparently around drugs. The Coyotes have
Rick is there.
him and officially terminated his contract. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
Happy Friday. For your day, look for mostly cloudy skies out there. Temperatures not bad, right around 80 degrees. And then for tonight, those clouds clearing out of here with those overnight lows right around 54 degrees. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Did you know Discover wants everyone to feel special? That's why with your Discover card, you have access to 24/7 customer service, as well as $0 fraud liability, which means you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases. Learn more at discover.com/credit card. Limitations apply.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B is sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
He's there.
Time to talk about the business side of sports. Leading expert in the business of sports. Author of the new bestseller, The Sport Business Handbook. Host of Power of Sports and architect of over 100 deals worth billions in sports. The sports professor, Rick Horrow, joins Roc and Manuch on Fox Sports 910.
You're hot.
Hello, Rick. How are you today?
How are we doing, Rick Horrell?
Wow, that was a very quick introduction. I haven't talked to you in like a month.
I
Where
know.
have you been? What's wrong with you guys?
Well, that's why.
It's like-
I mean, I felt like I almost said Happy New Year. I mean,
Happy New Year. That might have worked. I'm not sure. We probably did talk after the New Year. I missed you when I was in Toronto for the All-Star game. I missed you when I was in Boston for the Beanpot tournament, and I did my monthly attaboy to the Harvard kids. And then my 7 days in Vegas is like dog years. You know, every day in Vegas is like it takes 5-6 days out of your life. So I'm really kind of glad you went. You have to go. It's like a trade show, and if you're anybody in the industry, you got to go just to be there. But I'm really kind of glad I'm home and you know, doing stuff like sitting around and playing golf and feeding the dog and watching Griselda. That's a great movie. I watched that last night. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but
no.
Sofia Vergara is a drug queen that even Escobar is afraid of, and she shoots people and she kills them, and it's kind of fun to see her in that role. It's a little bit different than Modern Family, I'll tell you that.
Well, it sounds like you've been around a lot of hockey people. Are you hearing any news regarding the Yotes here in Arizona? Because it's getting ugly. It's getting real ugly.
Yeah, well, the news is like Groundhog Day news, which is, you know, you need a new arena or you're gone. But I will say that there are two sides of this. Every time you hear a new quote unquote candidate of the month, last year was Houston, this year is Salt Lake. You know, then it's like, all right, you better get this done or else. And then Winnipeg is having some troubles. And then people remember that, you know, it used to be Atlanta. And, you know, it's all, then the good news, I guess, is that Gary Bettman is as incredibly loyal as they come. Now, he's got to reach a breaking point soon because you only have, you know, you have so many, you know, only so many last chances. And I saw, it's interesting, I was sitting out there in Toronto and I was sitting next to Steve Ellman, you know, at the All-Star game. And it was like, you know, same old, same old. I remember all the Coyote stories from his perspective 10, 15 years ago, good or bad. But it's like, you know, it's you hear some of the same stuff.
Well, it seems, Rick, is mid-June is when you're going to have Morello going to cut that check for the state land trust, which I believe it's leasehold. But all that being said, if he gets the winning bid with the state trust land, cuts the check, which they want, let's say it's finalized, it's recorded, it's by, I don't know, September, October. They only got 3 more years left on the current lease at the Mullet. So from start to finish, say they start in October, from putting a shovel in the ground, can they get this bad boy done in 2.5, 3 years with all of the stuff he wants to do as far as a major complex?
Well, it would be really tough. And of course, you don't do the full, as you know, you don't do the full parts of the major complex all at the same time. You get the magnet done and then you build around it. And, you know, Phoenix and the Valley, if it's like it used to be when, you know, you got the team moved from another city, you know, you don't need that second goal, right? You only need sight lines for like one goal. So you only need to do half the arena. No, that's stupid. I'm just kidding. That's a very stupid comment. So it may take, it will be close, clearly. But here's my comment. I would be so amazed, as would the Valley, to get a real arena out of the ground, that if for some reason they're late by a couple of months, you know, people will bend over backwards to accommodate them wherever it is. And I don't just mean Mullet, I mean anywhere in the Valley. It's just I don't think whether it'll be done in 2 years or 3 years is the issue. If it really is financed and the land is really there, everybody's going to say hallelujah.
Rick, I want to get your thoughts in reference to Rick Horrell joining us here on the right to get signed. The college football playoff, it's set with the 12 teams. They got that. And then it wasn't a day after that came out, the new model, that the SEC and Big Ten said they wanted guaranteed 4 spots. Okay, that was out there. And then it seemed like the next day, Bill Hancock's already talking about a 14-team playoff in 2026. So I talk about the tail wagging the dog here. It just seems coincidental that to appease the Big Ten and the SEC, that we expanded 2 years later because of what they said versus here's the model and you'll be happy with it.
Well, you know, if you're saying that the SEC and the Big Ten have more leverage than anybody else, well, that's pretty obvious.
Sure.
So the question is, what do you do with that leverage? Well, you know, now I think it's the right answer of having the 5 champions guaranteed, then the next 7. But who really got kind of messed up in all this was the Conference USA and some of the other conferences. They thought they would have a guaranteed spot, or at least a presumptive spot, if it's number 12, whatever. But to have a non-Power 5 in there, and that didn't happen. And so we're seeming to be inching toward haves and the have-nots on steroids, whether it's the 5-7, you know, as you said, whether it's the SEC, Big Ten versus the world. I will say this, a shameless plug, as I always do. So on March 8th, the Maxwell Football Club is doing its awards dinners in Atlanta, College Football Hall of Fame. So I took the opportunity to joint venture with my friend Steve Hatchell at the National Football Foundation. We're going to do a series of thought leadership panels on the future of college football. We have the NCAA there. We have a couple ADs. We have a conference commissioner. We have a couple of players. We have some sponsors. And we're going to do a whole afternoon of, you know, very serious thinking. Can't solve all the problems, but at least you can talk about it leading into the awards dinner that night. We picked that night because everybody's going to be there. And, you know, the Hall of Fame is kind of a cool place to talk about this stuff, especially since it is the 10-year anniversary of that building, A, and then B, remember where next year's national championship is. It's in Atlanta, so you kind of kick off the celebrations there.
Well, ask me this. You got a $7.87 billion contract the ESPN is going to cover till 2031. Are they getting out in front? Is this a precursor to these super conferences, which could be or might be around the corner? And I'm curious to see if you guys might discuss that as well, too, that seems like they're out in front of it, that's inevitable, and it's going to happen, I don't know, maybe within 5-6 years when this contract is at its forefront back in up in 2031.
Yeah, and the other piece of this that you know I published in my stuff, don't automatically assume that number is the number that's going to happen. I understand that it's out there and it's published, not finalized yet, and everybody says, wow, it's double of what it used to be at the ESPN level, so it's got to be big. But let's remember, the last contract had 3 important games every year, semis and final. Now the playoff has 11. So that may not be enough money, and it's open for further negotiations. You know, what happens if you go to 14, as Hancock trolls out there, of course you're going to need more money for that. And then
3.
How about streaming partners? How about the Amazons? How about the Googles? We didn't see that. ESPN came in and ratcheted it up with their big new vertically integrated streaming monstrosity. So we have more questions than answers. Usually with you guys, it's better because you always want to leave more questions than answers because, we don't have any answers that are worth a damn anyway.
Rick Horrow here on Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B. I see that golf and trading cards are coming together with Liv. They signed a new partnership with Panini, and I'm just curious, is this going to work?
Well, it's going to work as much as digital trading cards in any other sport, baseball, basketball. If you're avid and you want to collect, why wouldn't you send your kid out there to find a Phil Mickelson card or a John Rahm card? By the way, I will tell you, when I was in Vegas, I decided to do a little research. So I went to the Live tournament twice. Remember, it was there in Vegas. And I'll tell you, it is, I'm going to suggest that the tour, not that they need my advice, ought to take it seriously because it ain't going away. I think the way to solve all these issues will be an inevitable merger. You're not going to wait for Live to run out of money because that ain't happening. And in the meantime, they've got a very interesting product. I mean, they got to kill the music while the golfers are playing because that it flies against the face of everything we've done. And put a prohibition on black socks when you're playing. Oh, that's just me. But other than that,
yes.
I mean, right? I mean, but there's a lot of positivity there with Liv, and I know we're just coming off of Waste Management, but keep your eye on it.
Yeah, and it sounds like some players are starting to kind of hear to it too, and they're being like Rory and Tiger. It sounds as though they're coming around to accepting the fact that this is going to happen. They are going to merge.
Yeah, well, and they're not the ones to totally decide. It's a very interesting dynamic now that you have a lot of Middle Eastern money, plus you've got that investment group that is coming together with a series of pro sports owners. So the PGA Tour, it has to make some really important decisions in the next few months, short of Jay Monahan just hugging the guy in the middle of nowhere, saying we'll work out the details later.
So next trip on the schedule after you get in all that golf and time with Duke.
Yeah, well, I've got a charity event over at Concession over in Tampa, but then that March 8th that weekend is kind of a very significant one in Atlanta for the Hall of Fame, and it's all of a sudden Masters time coming up, right? And then you've got before you know it, you got British Open time, and then before you know it, you got a number of other international things. I'm going to slip in a New Zealand trip there that no one knows about yet, but I guess a few people now know. So it'll be an interesting 2024.
He's so nonchalant. Yeah, and I got this Masters thing I got to go to. I mean, hey, Rick, somebody's got to do it. We are sure glad it's you.
Live vicariously through you. It's great.
Yeah, well, and we can talk down the road because I know that there have been a lot of things that have been happening in Phoenix, and certainly on the
you and I need to specifically catch up. Yes, there's been some changes
in the Rock stable. That would be very, very important. So I covet the day when you decide to return my phone calls. That would be
that's BS. That is not true. That is not true.
Hey, Rick,
have a good weekend, Rick.
You're not the other one, Rick.
Bye.
Bye.
That's Rick Horrow, the sports professor, joining us here. You can follow him on Twitter, X at Rick Horrow. Again, he is all over the board. Coming up, a very slight chance that we could lose some of the teams in the Cactus League. But first, our Learner Row one call, that's all. It's Fox Sports 910.
Clear. When we make your meal, this is where we start. Traditional old world recipes passed down through generations. But then we add some modern flair and spice up your Italian dining with contemporary flavor combinations. The result, the perfect fusion of new and old world traditions and a meal you'll never forget.
Inspired by the comfort and cuisine of a Brooklyn-style pizza parlor, Upper Crust Pizza and Patio Wine Bar is located at the southeast corner of Loop 101 and Cave Creek Road in Phoenix.
Wright Toyota, the #1 volume Toyota dealer in the state of Arizona, ensures you a buying experience that will exceed all your expectations. Check it out for yourself. Located just off the 101 on Franklin Wright Boulevard.
Your one call is going to be a Dodgers highlight from yesterday. to lead into your story.
Looking for a change in your career path or just looking to get back into the employment market again? Look no further. All City Towing is searching for motivated teammates to join their team. Current openings are in the areas of customer service, tow truck operators, yard management, facilities maintenance, and dispatch. If you're looking for a challenging yet rewarding opportunity, a great benefits program including 401k program with a generous company match, and a company that is a leader in the industry, apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call All City's HR department at 480-833-7278. All City Towing is Arizona's largest towing transport vehicle storage provider. Locally owned and invested within the communities they service. If you enjoy helping others by providing great customer service, working as a team, and possess great communication skills, All City is for you. Apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call 480-833-7278. That's allcitytowing.com.
If you haven't tried G2G protein bars, today is the day. Find them in your local Costco's refrigerated section or online at g2gbar.com. Incredible taste and packed with protein. They are perfect for your on-the-go lifestyle. Check them out today.
A homeowner just like you.
Hey.
Decides to fix his roof.
Okay.
He backs up his truck, ties one end of the rope to the bumper and the other to himself.
Smart.
He's working on the backside of the roof until...
What? Wait, no.
Yes, Dad was in tow.
Ooh, he hurt?
A few bruises and his pride.
Save yourself with State 48 Roofing, offering maintenance, repairs, and replacements. Of course, licensed, insured, and bonded. From residential to commercial. State48roofing.com.
A car is never just a car. Kelley Blue Book knows it's so much more than that. It's your commuting chariot, your road trip refuge, your I just need a reason to get out of the house. Your car is there for everything, and for everything car, there's Kelley Blue Book. Need a new set of wheels? Price it on Kelley Blue Book. Problem under the hood? Fix it with Kelley Blue Book. Can another car do the job better? Trade it or sell it on Kelley Blue Book. We're here mile after mile, moment after moment. Price it, fix it, trade it, sell it, KBB.com it. Visit KelleyBlueBook.com to get the journey started.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
That doesn't sound good.
Paper shredder's jammed, but I think I fixed it.
Oh, well, try shredding these $50 bills then.
Seems like it's working.
Better try another $400.
Stop. Instead of using money, use regular paper. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
It's the Lerner and Rowe. One call, that's all. Call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
The bases are loaded with nobody out. This is going to bring up Teoscar Hernandez. This one's hit in the air well to left center and deep. Heading back after it, the center fielder is up.
Spectrum Sportsnet LA.
Is going to bounce and go over the wall for a double. 2 runs will score. Out middle stop at third, and the Dodgers strike first.
You're hot.
In the top of the first, it's 2-0.
So that was the first run of Cactus League 2024. Thanks to Spectrum Sports in LA. We always bring on Jerry Harrison Jr., who works for that network over there in LA. So appreciate that sound for our Lerner Row. One call, that's all. Staying with Major League Baseball, they are trying to get some assistance from our state as the league has asked Arizona lawmakers to exempt players from the state's minimum wage laws for spring training. Now, to do so, it would require the support of some reluctant Democrats. This particular exemption was similar in Florida, and the governor there, Ron DeSantis, who played college baseball at Yale, signed the similar exemption for minor league players last year because, of course, Florida is the East Coast hotbed for spring training. We are the West Coast hotbed for spring training facilities. So Major League Baseball basically said the total benefits of minor league players includes wages, signing bonuses, housing, food. There's other amenities, averages out to about $110,000. If the bill doesn't pass, teams could look to relocate from Arizona. Now, where would they go? There aren't many that make sense. New Mexico? I mean, where would you go? California? Doubt it.
Yeah.
So Arizona has an incentive to play ball. No pun intended.
Absolutely.
You know, given all the tourism, it's like 400 million each year comes to this state. So Arizona's minimum wage sits at $14.35 an hour, which equates to $28,700 annually, assuming you're working 40 hours per week for 50 weeks out of the year. And college, as I mentioned, the college guys, the minor league guys, they're about 110. Now the minimum salary for major league players is $740, and they got to get this through.
I don't understand when you see all the economic impact that Major League Baseball, minor league baseball, whomever brings into the state of Arizona. I'll talk about the city, the state, whatever. That just doesn't make sense to me. That's some guys that aren't thinking it through.
Well,
if you
they're trying to protect themselves because then they can have other. What would stop Google moving here and saying, "Oh, we don't have to follow the same rules." Well, because Major League Baseball is claiming that the minor leaguers, they're different from other workers because much of their time is exercising, training, watching videos. They don't track the hourly, right? They're not tracked hourly.
Yeah.
So I guess the other side is people are trying to protect it because this would send a signal, basically the bat signal to other corporations. Say, hey, come to Arizona and get an exemption. You don't have to pay your workers. People would jump on that.
Well, yeah, they would, but there's two sides of this thing.
No question. That's why I'm giving them out. You guys decide what you want to go on.
So you got corporation, you got Major League Baseball,
which is a corporation.
Yeah, and you break down the money that they're bringing into the city of Arizona. Into Phoenix, into surrounding areas, 50-mile square radius, whatever you want to call it. You look at $400-500 million plus or minus that they're bringing during spring training. There's also the Instructional League, which is also sometimes year-round here in the Valley.
And then there's Arizona Fall League.
There's Arizona Fall League. There's a lot of things to consider. But I think there's got to be more of a stipulation in that bill as to more of a qualifier. These are maybe Major League Baseball could say, look, these are our 1099. They're not employees. They're contractors. So maybe they can go get around that and say, well, we're going to, from now on, you're a contractor. You're a 1099. I'm a minor league baseball player. You pay your own taxes. So maybe there's an issue around that. Maybe the legislatures go, okay, then we can deal with that. They just want to make sure that since we're a right to work state, that if they're going to go down that road of, well, if it's minimum wage, we got to make sure we cover ourselves and you as your employee. Maybe they make them contractors. I don't know, but to me,
I agree with all that minutia. But again, I think the knock here is, I think a lot of people support the bill, but it would set a precedent to allow these other corporations to kind of skirt the minimum wage requirements, which was voted on in our state.
It was, and I can't imagine $14.25. I think that's still low for a lot of the people out there. But if you're going to hire, let's say if one of these new this huge South Korean semiconductor company comes in, which they're down there, they're building a huge complex on the west side of I-17 as you go into Anthem. If they're going to hire people, maybe their minimum wage, theirs is $20 to $25. But if it's $14.25 or whatever, they're going, wow, we can hire all those assembly line people for that amount. And that's pretty low. We can really end up getting our profit margins even more so. So I see it, but I think there's got to be some kind of stipulation, some more clarification from corporations coming in, these huge, like this huge semiconductor company is coming in. I think they're going to open them in about a year and a half when those wafers.
They're going to employ a lot of people.
A lot of people.
And that's got a lot of economical impact too.
Huge for this entire state of Arizona.
Yeah. Well, the activists against it saying this is not about paying the players a minimum wage. They're just, again, trying to avoid it for a very large corporation because there's some bean counters out there. Some CFOs are saying, wow, we can go to Arizona
and not have to pay
labor.
Sure. We don't have to pay them $14.25 versus $25 an hour. Now, if you want to get the best, you want to get good employees. Some of these corporations that you talk about, Rock, you want to get the best of the best if you can. You bring them in because there's going to be competition for those salaries for a lot of companies that are coming in. The Amazons, the Googles, this semiconductor company, other semiconductor companies right now, guys, are looking at Arizona. But I think if you're going to compete for for employment or for employees, you got to give them obviously the benefits. You got to give them a little bit more than minimum wage, or you're going to lose out. So I don't think that piece, the other corporations coming in, to be an issue. I think the issue is Major League Baseball would go, well, look, we can't do that. We're going to pull out our teams, and we're going to move wherever. I think then that point, that's when you get the concern of the legislature say, we got to work this out. We got to work so we don't lose our teams or our instructional league or fall league if these guys are making minimum wage. Just can't.
There's a report that came out in the last hour from the Sports Business Journal that the SEC and the Big Ten are talking about a partnership. Dun, 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 dun.
How long we've been talking about that,
aligning themselves up and being their own group, being their own conference.
There's the
having
first
their own
one.
TV network.
There's the first one.
And there it is. So they are
So it's
putting
actually
together a group of people, and they're creating this so-called strategic partnership between the two conferences because they don't like what they're hearing with the new college football playoff.
So there it is in black and white, Rock. Actually, there no speculation, no rumors. It's actually in black and white. What have we been talking about? Sooner or later, this one super conference. So you talked about this yesterday, right? How many super conferences? Is it one? Is it two? Is it three? Well, you look at the SEC and Big Ten, and you combine all those teams. By the way, hey, ACC, would you like to join us? Hey, Big 12, would you like to join us? And here's
you got to abide by our rules.
Well, exactly. But here's the numbers we're talking about if we want to have our own playoff situation. So why do you think that Bill Hancock came back yesterday going, so you guys want 4 guaranteed, you Big Ten, and you SEC want a 4 guaranteed? Maybe we do go to 14-team playoff. Maybe we sweeten that pot to prevent that what you just talked about. That's now in black and white. Isn't that amazing? Spoken word is out there.
Hey, our daily digit today is 255.4 million. That is the NFL salary cap that will increase to for the upcoming season. It's an increase of 30.6 million from last year, all a result of the big media rights and income gains that they've been getting. Plus, there was some repayment of some pandemic-related adjustments from the 2021 year. So there you have it. Hey, we're going to catch up next with one Scott Spreitzer. We're going to handicap some Suns games with him, maybe some of the big college games as well. A little bit later, roses of the Fiesta Bowl, so we could talk more about the news with the SEC and the Big 10, or Big 12, or the ACC, whatever it may be.
The big dog.
And we'll catch up with one Scotty Williams. Scooter will join us and talk some college basketball with him. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B from Wright Toyota here on Fox Sports 910.
Clear. This is what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
Frankie Collins made Arizona State program history last night with his 77th steal of the season, marking the most in a single season for the Sun Devils. Collins passed Fat Lever for the top spot. Tomorrow, Arizona State hosts Wazoo. Arizona entertains Washington, and GCU will pay a visit to Abilene Christian. The Suns visit the Rockets tonight. Bradley Beal and Yusuf Nurkic are both doubtful. Kevin Durant is not on the injury report. Center Adam Ruzicka, recently brought in by the Coyotes, has been shown the door. The Yotes waived him after he posted a video online of him with what appears to be cocaine. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
At Van's Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, there's something that binds us all. The collective goal to transcend the ordinary. Introducing the new Callaway AI Smoke Driver. The new AI Design Club has multiple sweet spots across the face, making it an average of 7 yards longer than the prior model. Visit us in-store for a free custom fitting at your local Van's Golf Shops or shop us online at worldwidegolf.com. Get there.
Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing and your sexy status roof guy on Instagram and Facebook. Lesser roofers cut corners, coupling together patchwork roofs to meet a budget, not State 48 Roofing. Give us a call today for your maintenance, repair, or full replacement needs.
There are many signs that you may be in financial trouble. Late mortgage payments, paying bills from your retirement account, or paying one credit card with another. If you're experiencing financial hardship, bankruptcy may be right for you. The credit industry wants you to believe that bankruptcy is bad and will destroy your credit forever, but that's just not true. At Lerner and Rowe Law Group, we'll take the time to carefully examine your situation and develop a plan that is right for you. Call Lerner and Rowe Law Group today for a free consultation.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Sean Forster, Managing Attorney.
Catch Sun Devil baseball for the final season in the Pac-12 Conference. The Sun Devils host an incredible home schedule that features teams like Ohio State, Oregon, USC, and Arizona. Season tickets are available starting at $150, and limited seats are still available at the field level. Grab your seats today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Hey, this is Kelly Cooper. Are you ready for the ultimate sports experience? Look no further than BKD's Backyard Joint. At BKD's, we're the destination for the best food, drinks, and sports experience in the Valley. Located at the corner of Pecos and McQueen and Chandler, BKD's Backyard Joint, where every day is game day.
The will to win is important, but preparing to win is essential. At Crest Insurance, we understand that the road to success is not one that you go alone. Whether it's your family or business, you're not buying insurance, you're buying protection. That's why so many turn to the professionals at Crest Insurance. Our team has the experience to help you safeguard the things that matter most. It's not just an insurance policy, it's peace of mind.
Commit to one day and help keep ozone away. Idling causes air pollution. Please turn off your vehicle when waiting in long lines like school pickups and drive-thrus. You'll save on gas and breathe cleaner air. For more information, visit maricopa.gov/AQ.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It's time to say goodnight to that check engine light with the free AutoZone Fix Finder service. It'll help troubleshoot the likely cause of your light for free, so you can drive with peace of mind. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Now, sports gamblers, Scott Spreitzer, one of the leaders and most trusted names in the country. Nobody watches and studies games more than he does. From DocSports.com, here's Scott Spreitzer exclusively on with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
Show me money! So, Scott, I mean, I know you drive around, you go to the grocery stores there in Las Vegas. Is everything kind of tame now that everybody left from the Super Bowl a couple weeks ago? Back to normal?
It's getting back to normal, especially if you live away from the Strip. So it's pretty cool. I mean, it was fun. It was, again, that was even better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be crazy to a certain extent of, there's going to be just massive traffic jams everywhere, but I always got to remember Vegas knows how to party. They do it about 3 times a year, including New Year's. So it was a great time. And again, it is getting back to normal. You can actually drive around a little bit easier now.
As Roc alluded to in our last segment, I'd forgot Live Golf had their tournament there in Vegas at the same time, kind of like the Waste Management Phoenix Open when we had the Super Bowl here last year. I can only imagine just the buzz and the hairiness of the locals to kind of fight around anything and everything that was in town there.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you gotta kind of put up with it, but at the same time, there's no state tax, so we appreciate everybody coming to town and spending a few bucks, and so that's kind of the way I try to look at it. But you're right, the only problem. I don't know if it was a problem or a good thing, but with that Live Golf tournament that was here, we didn't quite get the color that you guys got at your tournament down there a few weeks ago.
All right. We have no football to bet, so we can't do that. So college basketball, sure, it's close. But how about some NBA, buddy? Can we talk some NBA with you today?
Absolutely. And by the way, we got football in a month, guys. I think this UFL is going to make it.
There you go.
So I'm going to say that for now, and then we'll talk about it, in a month or whatever if you guys want. But,
okay,
yeah,
I can
NBA,
do that.
Man, NBA college basketball is what it's all about right now.
All right, Suns last night, they lose a tough one in Dallas. So now they got a back-to-back. They got a Houston team that they're going to see 3 times in the next 8 days. -4.5 Suns. How do you look at games when you're coming off a back-to-back loss?
I think with the All-Star break, it doesn't really bother me too much. And, it's funny because some teams do actually cover spreads well when they're the second of back-to-back games. And one of the reasons is that you assume that a team is going to be maybe a little bit worn out, or maybe a couple of stars are going to sit, and more than they normally would in the second of back-to-back. But there's 2 things that kind of even things out a little bit. One, the books are baking that into the cake, so to speak. They're baking that into the line that most people are going to feel that it's a tough spot. And also, if you look at how teams did the game before, the night before, a lot of times if it's a wide margin win for the other team, I just check the minutes, and you'll see like, wow, okay, well, they were knocked around or they blew out the other team, and their minutes are really shared about 9 deep on players. And then there's other times when games go right down to the wire, and you'll see the starters, maybe the 6-man, all played a ton of minutes. That's when I like to go against those teams. But in this one, it's interesting because you've got a situation where that line was once 4.5. It's now 3.5. I do like the road chalk here now that it's below 2 buckets. But basically what this line is telling me is that even though, Van Vliet hasn't been mentioned for Houston as being out of this game, he could have some concussion issues. And that line moving the way it does tells me that he's likely playing. So here's what I like on this game, guys. Grayson Allen, I think, is a nice prop play tonight, over 12.5 points. He had no trouble with the Rockets when they last met. He drove the paint. He scored inside to go along with his normal perimeter play. And I think over 12.5 points is the best bet of this game tonight with Grayson Allen.
I think the other thing, too, the Suns are ready to kick somebody's butt after losing by 10 to Dallas last night. Doesn't that go in the blender as well, too, Scott?
Absolutely. And that's why I lean that way with the Suns. And, I think if people are going to play the Suns, do it now while it's sitting at 3.5, because anything going to go up a tick by tip-off.
All right, second game, the Clippers -9.5 at the Grizz. Looks like the over-under's at 233.5. Clippers are just staying steady as she goes, and I think just about everybody is healthy. I think Paul George was questionable there, but 9.5 at the Grizz.
Yeah, I went against the Clippers last night. I also, at the same time, did play Paul George over with his assists and rebounds combined that we got there. Hefty number tonight, but the Grizzlies aren't scoring. There's no Bane. There's no Morant, of course. They're averaging under 105 points per game in the month of February. Very little depth on this team right now, and the Clippers playing well on the defensive end. They're tied for 5th in the league with the Suns, and effective field goal percentage allowed are the Clippers. And then, you got the Grizzlies having a little more than Jaren Jackson as a consistent offensive out right now with their injuries. So I believe the Clippers are going to bounce back from last night's loss. The only real question mark for me with the Clippers, how much is Kawhi Leonard going to play? He played just over 30 minutes last night, and you just got to wonder if they're going to play him for a full 30 tonight.
All right, Bucks and Timberwolves. Timberwolves quietly one of the better teams in the NBA, the top of the Northwest Conference, and they're going to go at it tonight, 8 o'clock local on ESPN. Giannis versus Anthony Edwards. This Timberwolves team's won 4 straight. I don't know what Doc Rivers is doing. He hasn't been able to kind of get this team on track yet. So how do you handicap this one?
Yeah, look, it looks like Giannis is going to play tonight. He's listed as probable, but of course Chris Middleton's still out with the ankle issue. They're 3-7 straight up and against the spread in their last 10. The Bucks and Doc Rivers. I mean, a lot of us out here in Vegas are like, this guy's not the answer. They're not going to be in the NBA Finals this season. He has terrible playoff results, other than when he had the big 3 in Boston 15 years ago. A lot of guys could have won with those 3 players: Garnett, Rondo, and of course Pierce. But you can dump your coach when you're 31 or 32 and 14. But did you really expect them to be better without Drew Holiday this year, who's now with the Celtics? I mean, they lost Grayson Allen too. We just talked about him. He was a double-digit per game scorer the last 2 seasons for the Bucks. They're not shooting well at all of late, guys. In their last 4 games, they were okay against Denver. But in 3 other games in the last 4, check this out. The Bucks have made 42 of 135 three-pointers. That's 31% shooting. And if you stretch that out over the course of the season, that's dead last in the league. That's 3 percentage points than the worst team in the league right now. So Minnesota is the NBA's best in defensive efficiency. So I don't think Milwaukee is going to bounce out of their slump tonight. They beat Milwaukee by 24 not too long ago, and that should give the Bucks extra motivation. I just don't trust this team right now. They look like they're just, discombobulated, dysfunctional, whatever you want to call it. And without Middleton, I just don't think they get the job done against, as you said, man, they're flying under the radar, the T-Wolves. This is a very good basketball team that's getting no hype around the country.
Scott, weren't the Bucks only 2 or 3 back until Doc Rivers turned? They're 9 back now since Doc Rivers. I think it's a fall of at least 6 or 7 spots since Doc Rivers took over.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I still believe as long as Middleton was healthy and Giannis stays healthy, that this team had a chance to get the Eastern Conference Finals, as did the odds makers and a lot of bettors. I had them losing to the Boston Celtics, but they just look like they're a mess right now. And again, they really miss Holiday. They really do. And you can see it. And now with Doc Rivers, it's just like nothing's flowing. I can't even see this team making it to the Eastern Conference Finals, let alone their big goal this year, which was the NBA Finals. This could be another first round and out season for the Milwaukee Bucks.
All right, college basketball, some upsets abound. Scott, be curious to see what games you'll be looking at. You got some of the games. You got Houston at Baylor. Got a big game there. You got Iowa State, West Virginia. I mean, is this parity at its finest? What we're seeing here these last 2 weeks?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, my gosh, this whole season we've seen it looks like 16 teams that could win the national title. I'll tell you what, one thing that it's gone back about it's many years now that the team that's won the national championship in college basketball has finished 40th or higher in the top 40 in both offensive and defensive adjusted efficiency. There's about 8 teams that fit that prerequisite, if you will, right now as we speak. But I think it's even deeper than that as far as
2.
Look what Creighton did to my boys. Creighton did
to
UConn the other night, blasted them from start to finish in that game. But I think looking at UConn on Saturday is a potential play. There's only one book around the world that I can find that has lines out right now. They always put them out early, and they're usually off by a couple. So it's tough to really give an opinion here for Saturday. But UConn's a team I'll look at to bounce back. Hurley was not too happy with the goings-on in Omaha the other night. And then also Auburn, guys, they got knocked off by Kentucky. Bruce Pearl was beside himself throughout the second half of that game. I had Georgia. That's who they're playing. I had Georgia the other night to snap their 6-game skid. That was against Vandy. I think if this number is going to stay when other books chime in, it's currently 7 at this one particular book. I think Auburn's a play you look at tomorrow too.
Scott, as always, buddy, have a great weekend. Thanks for your time. We'll talk to you next week.
Always a pleasure, guys. Take care.
Scott Spreitzer joining us. Scott wins on Twitter and DocSports.com online. Check it out. You'll see how well he's doing on all sports as he does a tremendous job and coming on with us for over 15 years. So we appreciate Scott Spreitzer, as always, here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. I do want to tell you about G2G protein bars. If you have not heard about them, if you've not tried them, you need to. And they're available at Costco. They're not your average stale, off-the-shelf protein bar. I'm telling you, these are fantastic. They have 8 flavors. My personal favorite is the peanut butter banana chocolate. And what makes these bars so delicious is that they're fresh, no preservatives. They're stored in your refrigerator, not in your cabinet. You can put one in your lunch, in your golf bag. It's a great way to get some solid protein and healthy fats into your diet. So check it out for yourself. It's in the refrigerated section of Costco, or you go online to g2gbar.com. Check it out for yourself. Football at 50 and the locks of the week are next. Maybe Fox Sports 910.
It is clear.
Covino and Rich.
Steve Covino. Yeah. Rich Davis. Perfect. This is Covino and Rich.
Take a listen to Anthony Rendon.
This is a job, so I do this to make a living. My faith, my family come first before this job.
He's rude, this guy. He does what we all wanted to do as kids. He plays professional baseball. And he downplays baseball?
Covino and Rich, this afternoon at 4. Listen to Fox Sports 910 anywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
At Van's Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, there's something that binds us all. The collective goal to transcend the ordinary. Introducing the Cobra Dark Speed Driver. Engineered with advanced aerodynamics, power bridge technology, and a large hot face for more speed and consistency. Visit us in store for a free custom fitting at Van's Golf Shops. Or shop us online at worldwidegolf.com. Get there.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the scenic views stick around after the sun sets, and your favorite cocktails keep you
company long after overtime. Where else can you unwind with bourbon and late night bites? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hi, I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Recently, Lerner & Rowe was named the second most influential law firm in the United States. Although we have offices in other parts of the country, Glenn and I both live here and raise our families here. We are your local law firm. No other law firm in the state comes close to the experience, reputation, and results as Lerner & Rowe. When you're hurt in a wreck and need a check, call the law firm that can get you the results you need. Call Lerner & Rowe.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Catch Sun Devil baseball for the final season in the Pac-12 Conference. The Sun Devils host an incredible home schedule that features teams like Ohio State, Oregon, USC, and Arizona. Season tickets are available starting at $150, and limited seats are still available at the field level. Grab your seats today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Arizona's largest locally owned A-plus BBB rated towing company is All City Towing. They're always looking to add motivated and competitive team members. Do you fit the bill? If so, head on over to allcitytowing.com/careers for more information.
When we make your meal, this is where we start. Traditional old world recipes passed down through generations. But then we add some modern flair and spice up your Italian dining with contemporary flavor combinations. The result, the perfect fusion of new and old world traditions and a meal you'll never forget.
Inspired by the comfort and cuisine of a Brooklyn-style pizza parlor, Upper Crust Pizza and Patio Wine Bar is located at the southeast corner of Loop 101 and Cave Creek Road in Phoenix.
Get ready. This week, Staples has deals so good, you're going to want to sit down. Are you sitting? I'll wait. Great. Right now, during Staples Sit-a-thon, you can save up to $180 on select chairs. That's up to $180 off desk chairs, up to $180 off computer chairs, and up to $180 off gaming chairs. So hurry into Staples now for the Staples Sit-a-thon and grab a seat or two. Ends 3/2. In-store only. See associate for details.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
Marcus, what happened?
I was changing my oil and I spilled some on the floor.
Oh, well, use these $50 bills to wipe it up.
Perfect. Got any more?
Yeah, take a couple hundred.
Stop. Instead of using money, use an old rag. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Now back to the Roc and Manuch Show, live from Wright Toyota. Right on the corner, right on the selection, and always right on the price. Wright Toyota, 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale, and online at wrighttoyota.com.
Let's get ready for football!
Don't have any.
It's Football at 50, the latest top football story trending this hour. Right here with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910 and the iHeart Radio app.
All right, it's not directly with football, but it affects football, as the federal judge today has said they have barred the NCAA from enforcing its rules prohibiting name, image, and likeness compensation from being used to recruit athletes, granting a request for preliminary injunction from states of Tennessee and Virginia, and dealing another blow from what ESPN is saying to the NCAA's ability to govern college sports.
And it also goes on to say the NCAA prohibition likely violates, Rocky and I talked about this, federal antitrust laws and prevents student athletes, as it was written by the judge in granting the injunction. So, again, the NCAA is being prevented from any kind of control whatsoever, and that's just in particular for Tennessee and Virginia, to prevent them from these schools going out and allowing them or offering the recruits the amount of money that they have. So it's once again that this is the genie's been out of the bottle forever, and the NCAA cannot go and try to re-grasp that as a federal judge says, no, they're allowed to go do what they want to do. It's the NIL. You're preventing these student athletes from going and being compensated in a proper manner, and you can't limit them as far as putting a cap on how much they can make as a student athlete. So once again, it's another blow for the NCAA, who is way behind it, trying to catch up. And at least it looks, at least for now, that this ruling, at least for Tennessee and Virginia, if this comes up in other states, precedent has been set, folks, by a federal judge that will allow the schools to go out and offer student athletes being recruited, whether it's from the portal or whether it's out of high school, an amount of money that cannot be limited or tapped.
This decision is also a win for the University of Tennessee because they're facing an inquiry by the NCAA into possible recruiting violations that has been met with forceful pushback from their school officials. So it's a win for them.
It is.
Throw that thing out.
I was just going to say, this federal judge has just set precedent. So that right there, the NCAA is coming to come at you hard. You can toss that. And I think another thing here too, guys, is the situation with the potential super conferences. You mentioned in the last hour, Rock, in reference to the Big Ten, and it's going to be SEC, could be banding together. This NIL ruling, if it affects other states that are out there, and Tennessee, obviously in the SEC, that it's pretty much, as I look at it, Rock, you may think, it's kind of fair game.
Mm-hmm.
What you can offer this student athlete, that student athlete, and even when they're on campus, there's a lot of schools who are going, okay, we're going to pay every one of our guys $25,000 a piece, like Texas Tech did a couple years ago. I think somebody else is offering $10,000. So it's pretty much open to as far as compensation. And a federal judge is saying you can't prevent or you can't cap what that student athlete can make, and you can't come back and say it's a recruiting violation because you're preventing that student athlete to make a decision on where he wants to go to, whether Louisiana or Tennessee or wherever, by offering compensation, putting a cap on that. Just can't do that.
Our random fact of the day, and this is an important one. Major League Baseball is dealing with a growing list of some complaints. The MLB Players Association is having an issue with the uniforms, the see-through pants, and they want them changed by opening day. Nike, which generated these Fanatic-produced uniforms, have been they're dubbed performance jerseys by the commissioner, and they were used in last year's All-Star game. And I guess a spokesperson said in a statement that there needs to be some adjustments with the jersey size, the waist, the inseam, the thigh fit, and the bottom of the pants. So, the shoe, we need your opinion on this. You're the baseball guy.
Yeah, you're the attorney at law here.
You have anything to comment on this?
Yeah, these jerseys are awful. I mean, these are some of the worst things I've seen in a really long time. I mean, the backs of the jerseys with the letters for the player's last name look like they were, ironed on by somebody. They look like if you ordered a jersey online and you got a bootleg version of it sent to you, this is what it would look like. And then the pants, you can see where the players have tucked their jerseys in because of how see-through the pants are. The belt loops on the actual pants are also very, very weird. Yeah, this is a problem. The union has made a big deal about it. Players have made a big deal about it. I don't know if there's enough time to fix this, but this is a pretty big deal, 6 weeks away from the beginning of the season.
I didn't know this was a thing until I think the first week or first day when pitchers and catchers reported with the Diamondbacks. They were talking about this. Yeah, these uniforms, they didn't quite say cheesy or feel cheap, but they were alluding that these uniforms are practice uniforms that they're wearing. By the way, I like that teal hat. I think it's pretty cool. But they said it just the tops, the bottoms, it just feels like I don't know that they kind of cut back. Let's put it this way. It's not that typical cloth or uniform that they're used to. I thought that was, and I had no idea what they're talking about until this story came out in reference to, these are just not quite feeling right. And on top of it, they're see-through. A lot of guys, realize they don't wear shorts underneath their pants. They just, wear their briefs or jock or whatever. And I'm like,
or in your case, tighty whities.
Well, no, I'd wear the jock back, in those days. But I always wore the shorts underneath them because when you slide, you have a little more cushion with the shorts.
All right, let's get to our locks of the week, Jax and Shu. Why don't you give us a little recap of last week?
So I can take my time on the locks today instead of yesterday with the underdogs, correct?
No, we go quick.
Oh,
your segment's not till
no, I was just saying that because
3 o'clock.
You and me won last week. That's the only reason why.
Oh, I see.
I'm not like that. No.
You're not a boastful individual.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not. I don't have an ego. Yeah.
Right. Well, recapping last week, Rock 15 and 18.
Yeah.
Arizona minus 18.5.
Killed
over
that one.
Arizona State. Me, on the other hand, 16 and 17. I had UConn minus 7.5 over Marquette. That hit. And Shu and Manuch lost theirs. Shu being VCU St. Louis, under 144.5. That loss. And Manuch had Iona minus 12.5 over Manhattan in that loss. So this week, a new week. Let's start out with Rock.
All right, I am going to go with the Timberwolves over the Bucks. You just heard Scott Spreitzer. He said everything I told him to say. It's 4.5. Like the Timberwolves, they're my team. If the Suns can't do it this year, I'm a big Timberwolves fan all of a sudden.
I'm going to go the Suns. This start off at 3.5 yesterday. It's not minus 4.5. The Suns minus 4.5 versus the Rockets. Suns all the way. I think they're going to kick butt. Probably a little embarrassed that the Dallas Mavericks kicked their butt in the second half last night.
I'm going to go to Houston minus 2.5 on the road at Baylor. Yes, I know road games this season. The home team seems to be favored, but I didn't like how Baylor played against BYU. I think they're flustered. I like how Houston's been playing. They've been blowing teams out left and right. Give me Houston to cover that 2.5, Shu.
So yesterday we took the Magic over the Cavs, and now with
Who's
the Cavs, me and Jax,
Well,
we both got them correct yesterday by picking the Magic over the Cavs. Well, tonight the Cavs are playing a back-to-back. They're playing the 76ers. Donovan Mitchell more than likely going to be back in the lineup from the illness that kept him out of the game last night against the Magic. 76ers can't get out of their own way. Joel Embiid not playing for them, and so I will take the Cavs minus 4.5. If it goes up the 5.5, 6.5, 7.5. I don't care if Donovan Mitchell's in the lineup. Give me the Cavs minus 4.5 against the 76ers.
Thanks, you.
He sounds pretty bound and determined on that one, Rock.
I'm just worried about these pants in the Major League Baseball. I can't get that visual out of my head. That's just. I just remember.
40.
Did you wear the stirrups high or low?
I wore the stirrups high.
You wear the stirrups
high.
high.
I like the stirrups high.
Yeah, I did the same thing. That was such a big deal as a kid.
It was.
How are you going to wear the stirrups?
30.
High.
Yeah, exactly.
Wear my pants up high, get the high stirrups.
A lot going on in college football, believe it or not. The Big Ten and the SEC talking
20.
about merging. How about that? We're going to catch up with the president and CEO of the Fiesta Eric Moses. Got Jack's Rewind segment and then NBA champ Scotty Williams all coming up in our next hour of Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from Wright Toyota.
Clear.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B has been sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
You hear it all the time. Lawyers talk about all their experience, many years of experience with insurance companies, and experience in the courtroom. But what they're not talking about is their results. Maybe they don't have any. At Lerner & Rowe, we're proud of our results because that's how we measure our success. We've helped over 150,000 people recover billions of dollars for their injuries, with over $1 billion just in the last 5 years alone. When you want results, call Lerner & Rowe.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Jenny!
Hey, Jenny!
Jenny, come on in! Steve!
Hey, Steve!
Steve, how you doing?
Meg!
Meg, nice to see you! Hey, Meg!
Arena Sports Grill. Come on out for the sports, off-track betting, incredible food, and friendly faces. The best daily specials in Scottsdale. Arena Sports Grill, 62nd Street in Bell.
Tune in Saturday morning from 9 to 11 for Backspin, the golf show presented by Pigs. Play your best. The Backspin boys take you inside the ropes every week with guests and great debates on the game. Backspin, the golf show on Fox Sports 910.
When you use Bounce dryer sheets and your clothes look amazing, it's the sheets. Less static in your life? Yeah, it's the sheets. Smelling fresher than ever? It's the sheet. Oh, so soft fabric. Ooh la la. It's the sheet. Less wrinkles on your clothes. You know it's the sheet. Bounce dryer sheets. More freshness, more softness. Less static, less wrinkles. It's the sheet.
At Consumer Cellular, you get the same exact coverage as the largest carriers, but for up to half the cost. Same thing, up to half the cost. Up to half the cost for the same thing. 50% the money for 100% the same thing. I hope I'm making myself clear. Consumer Cellular. When freedom calls, we're here to answer. Call us at 1-888-FREEDOM.
Half the cost savings based on cost of consumer cellular single line 5 gigabyte data plan with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plan offered by T-Mobile and Verizon May 2023.
Springtime, the best time of the year here in sunny Arizona. Spring training, spring break, and of course, Duke's on Miller and McDowell. Enjoy this weather on one of their 3 spacious patios. One is smoke-free. Duke's, right on the Greenbelt at Miller and McDowell, has awesome food, great drink specials, and is totally dog-friendly. Meet up with your friends at Duke's for spring training.
Where? Miller and McDowell. Scottsdale.
Now open in Rocky Point.
Joe Brown here with Accident Law Group. If you were hurt in an accident, find us on the web at accidentlawgroup.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd, Monday from 10 to 1. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD3 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music. Free never sounded so good.
Tomorrow will be a chance for both Arizona and GCU to rebound from losses last night. The 4th-ranked Wildcats with an afternoon tip at home against Washington. GCU will call on Abilene Christian. The Lopes suffering just their 3rd loss of the season last night in 27 games as they were beaten by Tarleton State.
Eric's there.
ASU will host Washington State. The Suns meeting the Rockets as they get back after the All-Star break with 3 games in 4 days on the schedule. And after a questionable video showed up online showing Adam Ruzicka apparently around drugs, the Coyotes have waived him and officially terminated his contract. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For tonight, look for mostly clear skies. Temperatures right around 54 degrees. And then for the weekend, looking really nice. Partly sunny with 79 on your Saturday, and partly sunny for your Sunday with temperatures slightly warmer at 82. For the Fox 10 Weather Experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies.
This year, Dell Technologies wants to help you do amazing things with their best tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 13 Plus, powered by Intel Core processors, and more. Save now at Dell.com/deals.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B is sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing. Time for our weekly visit with the Executive Director and CEO of the Verbo Fiesta Bowl and Guaranteed Rate Bowl, Eric Moses. This is our opportunity to talk high-level college football and check on the bowl selection process. Eric Moses, now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910 and the free iHeartRadio.
You're hot.
That's right. The CEO and president of the Verbo Fiesta Bowl and Guaranteed Rate Bowl, Eric Moses, down on the right Toyota guest line. How you doing, Eric? What's going on, man? It's still football season, isn't it?
I guess you guys thought you would be rid of me for a couple months, and here I am back like a boomerang, back on your airwaves. Thanks for having me.
Well, there's so much going on, right? I mean, what people don't realize, I mean, I do for the many years as I've been involved with the bowl, and I know Manuch does, it's not just 2 games, right? I mean, it's a full 12 months out of the year, doing stuff in the community, like what's going on tomorrow with the Arizona milk producers. Tammy Baker runs that, went to high school with Manuch. I mean, it all comes around, it all works together here. And let's start with that, because we definitely want to get into the expansion of playoff and things of that sort. But let's talk about off the field right now and what's going on tomorrow at Desert Mountain High School.
Yeah, we're really excited as part of the continued push in terms of our grassroots kind of football and youth outreach. We're doing the Arizona Milk Producers Fiesta Bowl Youth Football Clinic at Desert Mountain High School tomorrow, and we'll be featuring girls flag football as well as a session with 100 boys who or more who play tackle football. And you guys are well aware of the growth of flag in this state, and especially with young ladies and girls, and we're excited to get them both together tomorrow at Desert Mountain to do some skills and some clinics and show everybody who's going to be there what talent we have here in the Valley and across the state.
You know, it's interesting because there are scholarships, as you know, Eric, going out to young ladies. I've got 2 of my female quarterbacks that have got offers already. So
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, it's expanding into the college ranks. That flag football for girls is even expanding even more so in the college ranks.
Yeah, it's a big deal. And look, you've seen it. We've seen it. We had Diana Flores as one of the special guest members of our Verbo Fiesta Bowl parade this year, who leads Mexico's flag football team and is a gold medalist and all of that. And she can spin it. And we've seen so much talent with girls, and as is the custom, and what I've noticed my whole life, if we give girls and women a chance to do things, they usually do them pretty well.
And you got your boy. You're going to put Max Starks to work out there. You got Spencer Rattler. You got Jack Plummer. You put Big Max to work out there. Hey, make him earn his stripes out there, would you please, there, Eric?
We will. He should be able to at least protect somebody's blind side, right? I mean, as big as he is, let's hope Max can do that.
Max is one of the best, no question. And a yellow jacket, by the way, and a very good yellow jacket. All right, well, let's talk about what we've been talking about throughout the week and into today. Manuch and I is the playoff. It goes to 12, and then now they're talking about 14. Then the news today, the Big Ten and the SEC are talking about creating the strategic partnership. When do you think this will be all kind of, final? What does your crystal ball say?
Look, if I had the answer to that, man, I'd put some money in Vegas and make myself a very wealthy man. I think that we are likely to see this year and next year kind of continue with the 12-team format that has been talked about before. They're still waiting for this broadcast deal to be done, and we're all kind of waiting for that because that's one of the major linchpins to the cascade of other things that have to be done, and including working with the New Year's Six to continue to lock us in as a key part of the playoffs in 26 and beyond. Expansion to 14, 16 teams. I don't know. I don't think any of that. If I'm betting, I don't think any of that happens before 26. If then, and the big boys talking to each other is probably a good thing, right? I mean, those two conferences are the ones that have, I think, the most weight and that people pay the most attention to. And so, if they're not for it, probably not likely to get done. So having them kind of talk about some things and being hopefully on the same page will help to get things done, I hope, more quickly, because the uncertainty is the thing that makes, I think, everybody in the industry more nervous. Like, let's just make some decisions and let's get people on the same page so that we can continue to grow the enterprise that is college football.
Eric Moses, Executive Director, CEO of the Verbo Fiesta Bowl and Guaranteed Rate Bowl here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Eric, I'm watching all these stories come out, and I'm looking at the bowls, and I'm a fan of the smaller bowls. Okay, I understand the big bowls; they're important, but my time as a Yellow Jacket has been a majority of it's been with the Insight Bowl, now Guaranteed Rate Bowl, and all the other things. I truly love those bowls because those are smaller schools that don't get to play in those big bowls, and those kids appreciate. The student athlete appreciates coming to Phoenix in December. I'm concerned, and I want to know is there any concern for you if as this playoff, if it does continue to grow and they are going to use the bowls for that, how is that going to affect the smaller bowls? Not necessarily Guaranteed Rate Bowl, but even bowls that are lower tiered than ours, like the Barstool Bowl and maybe Tucson or something.
It's a great question, and I don't know the answer. I mean, there are many people who would tell you that having 42 bowl games now significantly dilutes the product. When I was growing up, and I'm going to go ahead and extend this to you guys and bring you in here with me. When we were growing up, going to a bowl game, there were so many fewer of them that it was a really, really big deal. And if they were on television, everybody was watching them. And now, I mean, you have bowl games from call it mid-December all the way through early January. And while I value and I think it's important for the communities that host those games, for the student athletes that are able to participate in those games, and for the fans that want to travel to see those games, I wonder whether or not the enterprise would be better served if there were fewer. And if people were really focused on this 12-team tournament and then focused on, call it some other number of really good, strong matchups between teams that had good seasons and are now trying to end those seasons competing against other teams that had good seasons. The notion that there was talk last year about whether or not Minnesota, I think, from the Big Ten would compete, and I can't even remember if they did, at 5-7 in a bowl game. I don't know. Call me a traditionalist. That kind of rubs me the wrong way.
Yep.
I think
Agree.
bowl games should be a reward for having a strong season and a way that teams can measure their talent going into the next season and preparing to build on what they did that year.
So, do you like the 14 right now? Would you, or the 12? Would you like a 14? I mean, we seen Manuch and I and Jimmy B yesterday. We thought the 16 is where it should be, and let's cap it at 16. But for your business model and for the bowls that you manage, is 12 okay? Because the Fiesta Bowl will be okay.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you wanted it to be 16 and both of our bowls were in it, then I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But right now, I think 12 is the right number. What I start to get concerned about, guys, with the expansion from 12 to some larger number is the logistics around how we get those done. How is the schedule handled? How are we going to make certain that these kids who are still student athletes are going to have ample time to be able to be students.
3.
And not be traveling kind of every week and therefore not able to maybe focus on student life, including their academics as much as they should. I also think we have to be a little bit wary of, clashing swords with the NFL. Right. I mean, nobody wants to pick on the big bully in town. Right. But they are, once you start getting into December and January, that's prime time for them. They're going into their playoffs and they're accustomed to, as we've all seen, taking over every day of the week, right? It used to be just Sundays, then it was Sundays and Mondays, then there was Thursdays and some Saturdays and Fridays. And so I think we have to be very careful about how quickly we expand the postseason for college football and how many teams are involved in that. Certainly making sure that the kids are thought of and that we're thinking about what's in the best interest of student athletes.
And here, my last question for you. I think the state of college football, I want to get your thoughts on it as of today, is we look at truly the minor leagues with all the NIL money and portal, what have you. So you look at college football today, the way that it's going. I think we've talked about this. We're blue in the face, super conferences, the money and all the above. What is the biggest concern for Eric Moses as we move forward with college football?
Level playing field, and by that I mean one set of rules for everyone. And so again, I think I've said to you guys before, you can't have one set of laws governing NIL in California and a different set of laws in Alabama. And then expect those teams to be able to compete against each other in the pursuit of a national championship, or in the pursuit of recruits, or in the pursuit of coaches, or whatever other kind of thing that they're trying to do. So I think we need certainty around what the rules are. The rules have to be the same for everyone, and I don't want us to lose sight in the pursuit of bigger dollars of the fact that sending young men and women to college to get an education and also to participate in sports is an opportunity to grow their worlds, their perspective, their worldview in ways that are broader than just playing a sport. And if this thing becomes too commercialized, I wonder whether or not we will completely lose sight of that. I'm sure you guys can reflect on your time in college. I mean, I learned I'd be a completely different person were it not for those 4 years at North Carolina. A completely different person, and dare I say it, not as good a person, and certainly not as worldly or a person. And so there's a lot of value in that, and I want to just make certain that we're able to preserve it. I don't mind kids making money off name, image, and likeness. The collectives that are kind of paying kids to come to schools, I think we need to figure out how to curb that. But if you've got 1 million followers on Instagram or on Twitter, and the local car wash wants to give you $50,000 in order to endorse their car wash, have at it. So that's my gut around it.
Love it, Eric. Great stuff, man. Appreciate it. You just got me thinking about poppers on Court Street at Ohio U on a Friday night. You got me thinking about the 4 years and the 5 years that I was in college. I miss it so much.
Friday night education.
Or the 50-cent tequila night.
Mine started on Thursday night. So
my parents are in town. I think they're listening. So I'm just trying to be a good boy here. Hey, as always, Eric, thanks for the time, buddy. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys. Hope to see you soon.
You got it. Eric Moses, Executive Director, CEO. He's talking about the 4 years in college, and I'm saying to myself, man, I mean, I went out every night. I mean, it was drink and drown on Tuesday. It was $3 to get in. You got a cup, and you got to drink all the beer you want for free until midnight. And then Wednesday was 50-cent tequila night. And then, Thursday was always something, $1 Molson's, and then the weekend, they didn't have the deals, but I was in a fraternity. So, you always said we had those teas or parties.
Sure.
We called them teas. So you're like sitting there, you're like, wow, so much fun.
You are well-rounded, Rock.
I know when he said well-rounded, I'm like, I don't know. Would you be smarter or dumber?
I would not allow myself to go down to Aggieville until at least Friday
But
night.
you went to college for a purpose.
Yeah, I'm there for play football.
You're getting paid to be there.
Yeah,
I wasn't. I was just trying to get $20 out of the Jubilee, which was Bank One back then. It was called the Jubilee machine. And that $20 would get me through a Friday, Saturday.
Oh, I bet it would.
Oh, it's awesome. Anyway,
we digress.
We digress to Jax, who's going to join us next with our rewind. By the way, bet the game, watch the game. If you haven't been to the Sportsbook in Casino Arizona, you got to check it out. They got 3 live betting windows, 6 self-service betting kiosks, plus 8 screens that display all the betting lines. So get out there and check it out for yourself. They're open daily in the CZ Sportsbook, and that is open every day from 8 to 11. Coming up, as I mentioned, Jack's Rewind here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
Our fire in Scottsdale, 101 northbound, partially blocking the Shea Boulevard on-ramp. It's sitting in the right lane. A crash westbound 202 South Mountain Freeway near I-10. And a fuel spill and Surprise on El Mirage Road just south of Bell.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. At Lowe's, save big when you buy in bulk. Save 10% on your choice of any 3 or more A.O. Smith water heaters. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
When it comes to insurance, we don't focus on the competition. We focus on our customers. At Crest Insurance Group, customer service is not what we do, but who we are. Now more than ever, businesses and families are turning to knowledgeable partners to help provide them with the insurance coverages they need. We've worked hard to become one of the country's top independent agencies, and our clients benefit from our vision, experience, and outstanding service. Contact Crest and let our insurance professionals tell you what they see. You'll be glad you did.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado features a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. It's why they won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant in all 7 Barrio Queen locations. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. From tequila cocktails to an extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails served over ice balls in the 29-degree drafts. Stop by any 5 Valley Twin Peaks locations today.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Have you been charged with a crime you didn't commit? It happens more than you think. When your liberty is on the line, you need an experienced attorney that will aggressively fight for you. Lerner & Rowe Law Group handles DUI and all other criminal charges. And with our affordable payment plans, it's easier than you think to get the defense you need. If the police made a mistake, call Lerner & Rowe today. We're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to take your call.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Life's a sprint. Meet G2G protein bars. Grab and go fuel for the office, links, and daily grind. Score an 8-pack at Costco or explore flavors at G2Gbar.com. Quick, delicious, power-packed G2G protein bars. Setting your pace.
Hey, this is Kelly Cooper. Are you ready for the ultimate sports experience? Look no further than BKD's Backyard Joint. At BKD's, we're not just a sports bar. We're the destination for the best food, drinks, and sports experience in the Valley. Located at the corner of Pecos and McQueen and Chandler, get ready to score big on fun and flavor. Only at BKD's Backyard Joint, where every day is game day. Check us out online at bkdsbackyard.com. That's bkdsbackyard.com.
Liberty Mutual presents How to Be the Life of the Party.
Okay, first turn the music off. Then ask for everyone's attention. Now, tell them that you customized your home insurance with Liberty Mutual and saved hundreds. Boom! Now everyone knows you're not just a pretty face. You have some brains inside that face that know how to save hundreds on home insurance. Woo!
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. Based on recent survey of new customers who switched and saved. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
It's unconditional waivers for Adam Ruzicka. The recently signed Coyote posted a video to his Instagram account, which showed him with a white powdery substance that appeared to be cocaine, along with a credit card. ASU fell in overtime to visiting Washington last night after coming back from a 25-point deficit. Arizona fell to Washington State. GCU lost to Tarleton State. Tonight, the Suns on the road for the Rockets. I'm Frank Garrity.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Staples Stores.
Now, during Staples Sit-a-thon, you can save up to $180 on select chairs, desk chairs, computer chairs, even gaming chairs. In store
Do
only.
1 through 4.
Offer ends 3-2.
I couldn't pull the good audio for 5.
Stop by Staples today and grab a seat.
In case you missed this week of Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, our fine rookie Jackson Groff has you covered.
This is exactly what I've been waiting for.
Jax puts it all together. The best, the worst, and in his mind, the funniest moments from this week's shows. This is Jax's Rewind exclusively on Fox Sports 9.
You're hot. All right. This is Jimmy's favorite segment of the week.
Yeah, I need to come up with the tally marks of like the percentage of how, like what, 95% of the Jax Rewinds have been Jimmy B?
We talk about this every Friday when we do this. We have to move this.
No, you can't.
Jimmy needs to be here.
Jimmy gives his best content on Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Well, maybe
Monday. Yeah.
I don't know. There's got to be a way to fix it.
We could do it on Thursdays. That would just require Manuch to book one less guest for the show. So as long as Manuch is okay with that, we could get it in on Thursday.
You know how difficult was it for yesterday for me to tell him the 2 segments that he had open to not book a guest?
Rock, I almost fell over in the chair when I pulled up the lineup at the studio yesterday, and I was like, there's no guest for the first 2 hours of the show. What are you doing?
I was texting him like, dude, we don't need any guests. Stop. There's so much to talk about. You always got to, because he's so used to his routine.
Yeah, and I had to move our guest, Tom.
I'm like,
to next
move him
week.
next week.
Yeah, that's all right. I have no problem talking. Are you kidding me? More time to talk.
Oh,
yeah,
you're so full of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Jack.
All right,
it was an easy week, so you must not have much material.
We got a whole lot of content here. We'll start out with Monday's show, and I showed up to the studio. Not late, never late.
To the studio on Monday?
Oh, sorry, studio, the CAZ Sports Bar.
Okay.
Wearing a Bad Birdie polo, and we started discussing about how, you love my polo, and that 24, 26-year-old kid range.
By the way, there is a beer called Bad Birdie Beer now that may be part of Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B here. Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
So, yeah, I'm serious. Just want to get that out.
That's good news.
That's somewhat breaking news, but it's not finalized. But there's a rumor that they may be part of the madness this March with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. I haven't had it yet. I got to try it.
I met the founder at TBC Scottsdale.
All right, Jimmy. Great
guy. I'm just saying he's a great guy when you partner with him. All right. All right. Let's just play the clip, Shu.
Wow. That's a shirt, by the way. Was that Jimmy's? You borrowed Jimmy's shirt?
Absolutely.
Bad Birdie works for a 22, 23-year-old, not a Jimmy B.
What the hell are you talking about, dude?
You're not the demographic.
I am the
Bad Birdie.
demographic.
No,
I wear that. I wore a shirt similar to that.
I know,
yesterday.
and what do we always say when
and
you wear it?
I look great in it.
I don't know what your girl sees in it, man.
I have no
friggin-
gut. I'm like still slim. The shirt hangs on me perfectly. I am styling and profiling.
But she's buying it. You're not buying it.
Oh, that's correct.
No.
So Bad Birdie goes after the 20-something demographic,
Sure,
not the 80-something demographic, and Jimmy feels like he's still with it.
Well, he's a hip-happening guy.
Yeah, he thinks that.
Yeah,
but it's just.
He had to tell you how slim he is, how lean he is.
All he needs to go with the outfit is some Crocs, and then he's ready. He's good to go. The thing is, I bet when he dresses for the show these days, he does. I'm sure change a few times.
He's thinking about it. I asked him, I said, "Did your wife let you out of the house like that?" Well, number one, she's my significant other, which is not my wife. Oh, excuse me. Same
I get
difference.
that a lot.
So,
all right. So for those who listen to the show, you could probably list about 100, maybe 200 metaphors, idioms, whatever you call it, that Manuch has said throughout the show. Manuchisms. There you go, Rock. Well, this one kind of stumped Rock, and he did not believe that this was an actual phrase. Turns out that it was, and Manuch had to educate Rock.
And yeah, I just think that the ESPN just kind of jumped the shark on this one. They're a little caught their pants down, going, wait a second. We haven't even discussed it yet. Nothing to discuss here, guys. What's going to happen?
Let me ask you, Manuch, how do you jump a shark?
Jump the shark, man.
Yeah, I've never heard that term.
You ever heard jump the shark? Oh
No.
yeah, you're jumping the issue, the concern. You're like
You're jumping the shark.
yeah. It's a saying. Yeah, jump.
Well,
the
what
shark.
kind of saying?
It's just
Doesn't
kinda-
mean anything.
Yeah, it does. It
Why
means
would you jump a shark?
You're jumping the
You
you get,
avoid a shark.
well, you're jumping the shark so it doesn't get you.
Where
So
would you
get
jump
over-
to?
Well,
You're in the water, you're dead.
Just a term, meaning you're
It's not a
jumping-
good term. It's not a good. You
It's
got to
been around-
get something new.
around forever, Rock. Around forever.
Shoo.
The
Come
thing-
on.
I absolutely hate that this is the way we have to start the week, but I'm with Manuch on this one.
Oh!
Is a term.
Damn it.
It is. It dates back to Happy Days with
That was good on his
Fonzie
part.
jumping over
Wow.
the live shark with the water skis, and it became
Okay.
popular in radio. Jump the shark is a thing. I absolutely hate that this is how my week started, but I'm going to be Team Manuch on this one.
So, Shu, I got to ask you. You started the week on Team Manuch. Now you're ending the week on Team Manuch.
Oh, really?
That is incorrect, because I'm glad that we picked this one, because I would like to create an addendum to what I said on Monday's show. Because while the phrase that Manuch used, "jump the shark," is a phrase, it is something that people say, his usage of it isn't necessarily the correct application. Because when you jump the shark, it's when like you just go overboard with like a TV show, like the writing, like, oh, okay, they just jumped the shark. They've gone completely just away from where they should be with this television show or with something. So it's close, but he's not using it 100%. So I'm back in the middle.
Yeah, let me counter that from that standpoint there. The ESPN, they jumped the CFP playoffs, supposed to say, here's what we're going to have as far as $7.8 billion. You haven't approved it yet, but we're jumping that scenario and telling you what's going to happen. So they jumped the shark in that scenario.
The gun? Is that the proper
No,
one?
That would be a better. That would be a better one here. Jump the gun would be better than jumping the shark.
It's the same difference.
We respectfully disagree.
Here's one more: 6 1/2 dozen in the other. It's the same thing. All right.
This next one, and those that listen to the show, there's a whole phase right here. Jimmy B has his moment, and then maybe he takes it a step too further and then gets roasted for it. And then out of all this, Rock learns something. So as you listen to this, there's a phase that goes through the clip. It's long, but you'll understand what I'm talking about.
We ride the Jimmy B wave here.
And it is the confluence of the Monongahela and Allegheny River that forms the Ohio River right at the stadium. So thus, that's why they call it Three Rivers. So with that taking place, the entire downtown has been overhauled, rebuilt, and it is a spectacular city to go to.
Sometimes I feel like I'm in school. And Professor Jimmy B is giving us a class.
You got all
on
three rivers.
Pittsburgh.
You got all three rivers.
I mean, out of nowhere.
That was incredible.
And you knew
that was incredible.
And he didn't know this was coming. He didn't know that was one of my stories at 50 because he doesn't come with
Right.
any
But is he
content
right?
or any prep.
Is he
I don't
right,
know.
though?
We
That's
can't
the thing.
challenge him. We don't know. We got to fact check.
Monongahela, Ohio.
We'll look it up
And
and
the
then
third
we'll
one is
Allegheny, Monongahela.
602-260-9191. If you're
Fourth in
from
Ohio.
Pittsburgh, call us. Let Shu know if it's factual or not. You don't need to come on the air, but Shu will take the call
1 minute.
and report back.
I'd
I'd rather
not-
get it from somebody that's actually from Pittsburgh.
Not only
Not you.
that-
You're from the Northwest.
Not only that, I've
Oh.
water skied on the Monongahela during the summertime. And also, Bruce Willis did a movie in Pittsburgh where he was a sheriff in a speedboat that they had a dirty cop.
See,
This is where
see,
it goes too far.
now this
He
is
was-
where
Yeah.
he
He
gets
was fine.
He gets comfortable. He's feeling himself.
He was
That's where you
good.
got to cut it off.
See, Jimmy,
I'm
you
done.
were so no.
No, but see,
you've done on
you
the
got to
first
be. You
story.
jumped the shark. See, that's what you did. You were at a point where you were good, and then you jumped the shark.
The thing about that cut, he used the word thus.
Yes, thus in lies.
Never hear people use that.
And my favorite part is the two segments that we just played back to back, the two cuts. That is all within one segment. That is within a 5-minute period of time on the show that we jumped the shark, and then Jimmy B jumped the shark.
Because he did literally jump the shark on the Monongahela River.
So if you want to hear Jimmy B's best moments, listen to Monday, Thursday, or even if you want to repeat, Friday at 3:15. Jack's Rewind.
Oh, man.
So
good job.
he was good yesterday then. We got nothing.
Oh,
from
we
yesterday.
do have a lot more.
I just don't know if
we
we have
got
time.
time. Hell, it's
Okay.
Scotty. You got one more. You got one more.
All right, this next one, it's
Come
still
on.
from Monday's show. Again, this is all
Oh.
from Mondays, but Jimmy B has to tell everybody that he's done TV promos.
But I know Manuch can't wait.
Yeah.
The Bachelor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Joey and his 10 remaining women return. They were in North America. They were up in Canada, so I'm excited about that.
I can't wait.
I have never watched a minute of that show. Not even a minute.
We can't fact check that.
Well, I'm just telling you straight up, dude. I have never watched a minute
So you don't watch
of that garbage show.
Okay, so you don't watch ABC 15?
Yeah, I watch ABC.
Okay, so you have to see the promos. So
I've seen the promos.
You add all this up.
But the promo is not the show.
Pretty
I have
close.
never. No, it's not. I have never. It's a promo. I've done TV promos. It's
Yeah,
not.
tell
the
us
show.
about it.
Well, how would
It's
you?
not the
I didn't
show.
know you did that.
But how would you know if the promo is not like the show if you've never seen the show, Jimmy B? How would you be able to
I've never seen the
definitive?
show.
Right, so you
Because-
wouldn't know
because
if the
they always
promo.
parade three babes to some old dude that's walking down a walkway.
That was the Golden Bachelor. That was just one specific season. That's not.
The fact that he knew that, it means he's watched it.
Jimmy, just
I never watched.
Let Rock finish the What's on Tap.
Yeah,
please.
yeah, really. Well, they started on.
It's a sponsored bit here, Jimmy B. We got to get through it.
Oh, we love you, Jimmy. All right, coming up, Scotty Williams. Canyon out of it. What do they need to do to get in the tournament? Took a big loss last night. We'll talk to Scotty Williams, the color analyst for them, and three-time NBA champion. He's next on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Clear. What's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix?
The Suns are right.
He
back
just
at it
opens
tonight.
himself
They
up
take
for
on
it.
The Rockets in Houston. Bradley Beal and Yusuf Nurkic are both doubtful for the game. Former Arizona quarterback Jaden DeLora has declared for the NFL draft. It was thought he would transfer to Texas State, but he changed his mind. The Coyotes in their 11-game losing streak back in action Sunday when they visit Winnipeg. They've also waived recently signed Adam Ruzicka, who posted a video on his Instagram account that allegedly shows him being around drugs. Tommy Henry was first up on the mound for the Diamondbacks in their Cactus League opener against the Rockies. He went 2, allowed a hit, and struck out 3. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For tonight, look for mostly clear skies. Temperatures right around 54 degrees. And then for the weekend, looking really nice. Partly sunny with 79 on your Saturday. And partly sunny for your Sunday with temperatures slightly warmer at 82. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know there's a better way to do things, like bundling your home and auto insurance with Allstate. Why make things harder than they need to be? There's a better way to save time and money. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today.
At Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, there's something that binds us all. The collective goal to transcend the ordinary. Introducing the Ping G430 Max 10K driver. Straighter flies farther with Ping's most forgiving driver ever made. The Max 10K. Come in today and test drive Ping's newest driver at Vans Golf Shops. Visit us at your local Vans Golf Shops or shop us online at worldwidegolf.com. Get there.
Arena Sports Grill in Scottsdale on Bell Road is your home for pool, poker, and trivia. And now, the new Huss Brewing Company's Roc and Manuch Lager. Stop by today and experience top sports viewing, off-track betting, and ice-cold Roc and Manuch Lager drafts.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at wrighttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out wrighttoyota.com.
Hey, it's Gross. Join me, Bauer, and Jackson every Saturday from 11 to 1 live from the Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona for Take the Points. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar.
In the fast lane of life, your fuel should keep up. Time to check out G2G protein bars, your ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether it's a workday, gym session, or navigating daily chaos, G2G has got you covered. Find them now at your local Costco in the refrigerated section, or explore all 8 fantastic flavors at G2GBar.com. Great tasting and packed with protein. So keep pace with life in the fast lane with G2G protein bars.
Basketball Hall of Famer Dwayne Wade explores the lives and motivations of sports, music, and entertainment icons in his podcast, The Why with Dwayne Wade. In each episode, he delves into the inspiration behind their greatness, reflects on his own career, and goes behind the curtain to get the stories you've never heard.
How did you feel about me in 2006?
Well, there wasn't a lot of love there, I'd say.
We've never had a conversation to this point.
Listen to The Why with Dwayne Wade on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else, and we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. Get started today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with Code SPORTS, because life's more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
Now back to the Roc and Manuch Show, live from Wright Toyota. Right on the corner, right on the selection, and always right on the price. Wright Toyota, 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale, and online at wrighttoyota.com.
You're hot.
What are you guys doing on this fine Friday afternoon? Hey, before we get into it, I'm assuming you're doing really well. Just didn't even let you answer. But before we get into it, I do this, but I got to give a shout out. I am just leaving Veterans Memorial Coliseum, where I got a chance to hang out with my old starting point guard from the '86 Wilson Wildcats State Championship Basketball Club, because his daughter, Olivia Owens, is playing for Phoenix Country Day, and they were in the semifinals today against San Carlos, and their team came out victorious because Olivia is a stud. She's not quite Caitlin Clark yet, but she dropped 14 of Phoenix Country Day's first 16 points and had them off to a 16-4 lead to start the game. So a big shout out to Phoenix Country Day, where my kids used to go to school. They're trying to repeat as state champions. Uh-oh. What was that? Oh, yes. The Gainey Ranch Country Club. That's like literally right in my backyard. I live in Gainey Ranch, and I go up there, and I got a bad knee right now. Shout out to Dr. Work, who's going to get it fixed for me next Friday over at Banner Health. But I go up there and I get my chow on the patio, and watch my Tar Heels out of Market. So I was out there holding court on the patio while the golfers were coming into the final hole there. Yeah. So, yeah, you got some spies running around town. Keeping eyes on me, huh? Oh, you were there. Well, you know, with this bad knee and this cold winter we had, a little stretch there, most people think, well, I'm walking around town like Charles Barkley. So I gotta lose a few lbs, man. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, you know, it leaves them one up above Tarleton State in the loss column, but they're nipping at their heels. It's one of those games where it's tough to play, and you get your emotions running so high. Tyon Grant Foster with a huge end to the first half had them rolling like they were up like nearly 15 points going into the break or right before the break. And I could kind of tell watching it on ESPN Plus, and I'm like going, you're getting a little too giddy too soon. And sure enough, one of the assistant coaches, Ed Schilling, was trying to calm them down a little bit because sure enough, Tarleton State did enough to put enough pressure on the Lopes down the stretch. And they had a raucous crowd last night. I heard you mention them storming the court. They have a couple of bad turnovers down the stretch, and you get beat on the road. And that's how these things happen. Now, listen, it could be one of those things where it helps the Lopes in the grand scheme of things at the end, right? Sometimes even the great like North Carolina, Kansas, Connecticut, they don't mind that in-season conference loss to get so they can get the attention of the so the coaches can get the attention of the players back. Like they start getting a little big-headed, right? The others receiving votes, they're nipping at the top 25, they're reading their accolades. They've had a 7-run win streak. They've had 11-win ring streaks. They got the best record in the country. All of a sudden, these players start getting a little damn cocky, and it's maybe a good loss that Coach Bryce threw now can start yanking some change and get that player's attention.
Three.
Yes, they lost it 100%. I mean, at one point in time in the first half, at about the 12-minute, actually it was 8 minutes left on the clock, they were holding Tarleton State to 21% shooting and 0 for 9 from three. So they were doing it with the D. But like I say, you're talking about 19 to 22-year-old kids. They got cocky. They figured they were about to mop the floor, and next thing you know, they're in a dogfight. And like you said, they had 3 great home games. Now, they weren't blowouts, but you had the advantage of the habits. Great place to play. Global Credit Union Arena is a great environment. Now they got a taste of their own medicine as those Tarleton State kids. They start, bringing the decibel level, and the Lopes cracked.
Two.
Listen, Katie's my favorite player, and I understand what Charles is saying. I think he's trying to challenge KD to be less of a nice guy. Like, he wants KD to be a little bit more Kobe Bryant, a little bit more Michael Jordan, where you're not afraid to get confrontational with your teammate, even if that paints you out to be the a-hole on the team from time to time. I mean, remember the last dance, Jordan got emotional, saying that some of his players, the guys were afraid of him, that sort of thing. But he was trying to push guys to go someplace that he was trying to separate himself from the greats of the game, the Matt Johnsons, the Larry Birds. And these championships were the only way to do that. Some guys don't want to put in that kind of effort on a daily basis. And that's when you need a dude that's got a little bit more sandpaper, a little bit more nasty in him, and get in somebody's face and start, I don't want to say use the term yanking chains because that's more of a thing for the coaches to do, but to challenge them a little bit more and push them to work harder to try to achieve something. Because, what they did last night is a prime example of just being okay with where you're at. Like, they should have won that game last night in Dallas. They come out and give up a 15-0 run to start the second half. I mean, that's unacceptable. That wouldn't have been done on a Kobe Bryant team, on a Michael Jordan team. When you're realizing you're coming out of the All-Star break, you got a team that's supposed to win a championship, and you're just kind of, you're probably being considered the 5th best team in the Western Conference, if not the NBA, and that's being nice about it. So I know they didn't have Bradley Beal, and you can give them maybe a pass, but it's just unacceptable to get the doors blown off in the second half the way they did, and without anybody, challenging, Eric Gordon, some of the other guys off the bench, Grayson Allen, getting in their face and saying, we got to do better. And this is unacceptable. We are not meeting the expectations of what we're capable of. It was a weird Thursday. Name another Thursday where GCU, ASU, the Suns, and U of A all lose. I can't think of one. I've been in the Valley for 22 years. So that was super, super bizarre. As soon as I get this knee fixed, we're going to go tee it up, baby. Go Suns, go D-backs. I'm planning on making one of those free training games this weekend, guys. 77 and sunny. Sounds like beer and peanuts on the grass lawn. I'm all in.
Clear. This is The Odd Couple with Chris Broussard and Rob Parker.
We all knew how tough it was to play in New England in that Patriot way under Belichick. And usually, Rob, you know this, when you get away from something for a few years, you look back fondly, especially if you had success.
With Chris Broussard and Rob Parker. Today at 5, tell your smart speaker to play Fox Sports 910.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
Loop 101, Pima Freeway, southbound near Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard. We have an accident. Also 17 southbound. This is near 16th Street, a crash. Also an accident, 59th Avenue at Peoria Avenue.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell's new Cravings Value Menu is a big deal. Or rather, it's 10 big deals. From new items like the loaded nachos to familiar favorites like the spicy potato soft taco. Check it out at a participating Taco Bell today. Available for a limited time only while supplies last.
A will to win is important, but preparing to win is essential. At Crest Insurance, we understand that the road to success is not one that you go alone. Whether it's your family or business, you're not buying insurance, you're buying protection. That's why so many turn to the professionals at Crest Insurance. Our team has the experience to help you safeguard the things that matter most. It's not just an insurance policy, it's peace of mind.
Arena Sports Grill in Scottsdale on Bell Road is your home for pool, poker, and trivia. And now, the new Huss Brewing Company's Roc and Manuch Lager. Stop by today and experience top sports viewing, off-track betting, and ice-cold Roc and Manuch Lager drafts.
In the fast lane of life, your fuel should keep up. Time to check out G2G protein bars, your ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether it's a workday, gym session, or navigating daily chaos, G2G has got you covered. Find them now at your local Costco in the refrigerated section, or explore all 8 fantastic flavors at G2GBar.com. Great tasting and packed with protein. So keep pace with life in the fast lane with G2G protein bars.
Looking for a change in your career? All City Towing is searching for motivated teammates to join their team. Current openings now available in customer service, tow truck operators, yard management, facilities maintenance, and dispatch. Apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call 480-833-7278.
Hi, this is Kelly Cooper. Now picture this. You and your friends or family are gathered around a table, laughing, toasting, and sharing stories. At the Melting Pot, we're not just a restaurant, we're an experience. Are you ready to glow up your next birthday celebration? Look no further than the Melting Pot, where unforgettable moments are created and delicious memories are made. The Melting Pot is your perfect night out, where birthdays become memories that last a lifetime. For reservations, check us out online at meltingpot.com. That's meltingpot.com.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Gabby.
Hey, Gabby. It's Jennifer Coolidge. Hi. I'm so glad I reached you at 2 a.m.
Oh, of course. Anyone with a Discover card can call and talk to a real person 24/7. Now, how can I help?
Yeah, I used my Discover card to buy these yellow pleather pajamas, and I'm just not sure I'm pulling them off.
24/7 U.S.-based customer service. It pays to Discover. Limitations apply. Learn more at discover.com/credit card.
Tax Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. This tax season, you get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a new Samsung Galaxy A15 for just $99. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah! Good talk.
Switch to Straight Talk for plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and straighttalk.com. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com. Device offer ends 4/14/24. In-store activation on single silver unlimited plan or higher required. Family plan discount with 4 lines all on the silver unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
Now back to the Roc and Manuch Show, live from Wright Toyota. Right on the corner, right on the selection, and always right on the price. Wright Toyota, 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale, and online at wrighttoyota.com. The Drive with Jody Ayler, now in mornings, Monday, 6 to 10 on Fox Sports 9.
You're hot. Hey, tomorrow, Backspin the Golf Show. I wonder if they're going to talk about the Live trading cards. How about that?
If you were a young guy, would you be buying golf trading cards, knowing that if the golfers say that whoever was coming through in your era as a young guy? For me, it was Palmer, Nicholas, Trevino, those guys. I would have probably got some trading
David
cards.
Duval.
Yeah, whatever. Of course.
No, I collected a lot of baseball cards.
Yeah.
And some football, some basketball, but baseball was big into. I
That
can
was
imagine golf would have been big because I wasn't much of a golfer as a kid.
Sure.
So, and plus it wasn't as mainstream when we were in the 70s and 80s. You weren't on a Sunday afternoon taking a nap watching golf, whereas
you weren't.
We do that now.
Well, it's interesting. My dad he had sports on all the time. Early 60s, football, baseball, basketball, and so you would know those early 60s or mid 60s, all these baseball. Mostly it was baseball.
Yeah,
baseball and golf. So I was exposed to golf at an early age. Football, it was black and white. Would be the Browns, Packers, Rams, and the Cowboys. That was about it. But I mean, we would go down to the store and it was mostly baseball cards, get the piece of gum, get the baseball cards. And then they start getting the bigger package where you could get like a mini poster of I remember this, Carl Yastrzemski. And it was like maybe like a 1 foot by 1 foot wide with the gum. They started doing that. But I can't even remember. I don't even think the football cards, NFL cards came out till like maybe the late 70s, maybe mid-late 70s, when Topps started to take the football cards over. But, I mean, if I'm a young guy and I remember Trevino and Nicholas Lim, if I go down to the local 7-Eleven, we'd go see any sport we would get with that football card.
Here's what's on tap. You got the Suns and the Rockets tonight at 6 o'clock on 3 TV. Got some college basketball tomorrow. Washington is down at Tucson. That game's at noon on Channel 5. Washington State at Arizona State. That's on 6 o'clock on CBS Sports Network. And then Sunday, Lakers at the Suns, 1:30 ABC, nationally televised. And then the Yotes are in Winnipeg on KSAW at 4 p.m. Tomorrow, as I mentioned, Backspin the Golf Show, 9 to 11. Then Take the Points at Casino Arizona in the CAZ Sportsbook with Bauer, Gross, and Jax. Who are your big guests tomorrow? You got Michael Jordan.
No, we actually got Bo Brock from PHNX Cardinals talking draft, talking Arizona Cardinals. And then we've got someone we got Chris Cartman at 12:15, 12:30.
Good.
We're going to talk about Bobby
Sunday.
Hurley. Going to talk about the AD search.
Which is still
it's amazing.
AD search.
U of A does it in just a couple weeks. And it's been since November that Ray Anderson stepped down.
Yeah, and Cartman tweeted, I think it was last week, that ASU still has months to go until the hire. So I'm interested to see his comments on that.
I'd like to know which search firm they're using. A lot of these, schools will have these search firms, and they got a Rolodex of guys that are ready to go and gals that are ready to go. I'm just surprised it's taken this long because you want to get a head started. I mean, I would think you want to get in as soon as you can.
Why would they wait, Rock? Why would they wash out ASU? Is that a Michael Crow directive as a president? Just let all the spring sports finish and then start fresh. If they're saying months, they may not get somebody hired until maybe June.
I don't think it
What's
doesn't matter if the sports are going on or not. The athletic director is not going to all the games.
Sure.
He or she's more into fundraising and getting out there. And I would think if there is spring sports that he or she could go to, you're shaking hands, kissing babies,
Sure.
being seen.
What a better time to start than in the spring.
I'll never forget. I went to I was back for an Ohio State game,
And I remember I was in Columbus, and I remember Gene Smith, and I remember him stopping. He popped in. He had we said hello, and it was a Fiesta Bowl thing. He must have stopped at 5 or 6 different events, over the course of the night before the game. Some were events like there was an actual, whatever team was playing, OSU, I don't know, whatever sport it was, But then he's just meeting donors, meeting sponsors,
and doing his job.
Yeah. They all do that.
Laying it out there.
What's on tap? I gave you that. Let's get to our
State 48
roofing. It's your call question of the day.
A lot of news circulating around this Coyotes team. So we thought we'd go down this route today. Just go to @Roc and Manuch on Twitter. What are the chances the Arizona Coyotes will be here in 3 years? 25% chance, 50%, 75%, 100%. Well, currently 25% leads in charge at 46.7%. I voted 50%. That's at 26.7%. And then 100% at 26.7, 75% zero. I give it a 50-50 Rock. My gut almost tells me the lead 25%. I just don't have a good feeling about this. If a contract is signed and Alex Murillo's got that piece of property, 56th Street and 101, then I think we'll breathe again. Or will we?
It's a shovel. We got to see
the shovel. It's got to be shovel.
Some bad news today for the Yotes, though. They've waived center Adam Rusika.
Yeah.
Who hours after he posted a video on Instagram of some white powdery substance. The video, which was on his Instagram page, had a American Express credit card on a plate that also looked like a line of Coke and a vial of Coke in his mouth.
1 minute.
So they have placed him on unconditional waivers for purposes of terminating his contract. So he'll get waived tonight. And then he's out, and the Yotes said their statement, the club had no further comment at this time. He'd only appeared in 3 games. I got him off of waivers at Calgary, so he was number 83. No one really knew much about him anyway, other than he had been here for three games.
This goes beyond your dumbass of the day, Rock.
He is.
I don't
30.
get it. I understand a young man that would sabotage his career by putting it out there. If you got issues, go get cleaned up. Hopefully you may get a second chance.
20.
Have a great weekend. Appreciate Wright Toyota for having us as they do every Friday. We'll be at the CAZ Sports Bar on Monday. So have a great weekend.
10.
And we'll see you back here 1 o'clock.